You can hear me all right?
Yeah, man.
Beautiful. Righto.
Here we are.
My mother asked me to ask you if you'd like to join us for dinner.
Why?
I was hoping you'd know.
It's like when you go to like Winnie Reds and then you try to come back to Golds or something.
Yeah, it never fucking worked.
Oh.
Right, I did fucking hit record on that, didn't I? Yep. Happy days.
Been a while since I've done this.
See if you can hear me all right. You hear me all right?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Did you say something?
Here we go.
Sweet. As long as you can't hear yourself, I've got everything fucking set up, which I bloody should do. I'm very, I'm pretty unorganised with this one, but which is kind of a good thing. Like some people, depending on who it is, like I've got to be more prepared.
Yeah.
Because some people that like don't talk, some people I know I'm going to have to like lead and like prompt them a lot, but
yeah.
Yeah, some people I don't, which was you.
What's your microphone situation like? How close to you?
Wherever I can like
because you can hear.
Yeah.
All right.
You're
good.
fine, man.
Yeah.
That's all good. So anyway, we'll get into it. Episode number 11. We have Otis. Thank you for coming down, man.
G'day.
And thank you for the ones on Patreon. They are the ones that allow me to do this, which is good. So yes, without further ado, we have Otis Cordwell with us today, who again, same as the last one, I've been trying to line this one up for a while. It's just been a matter of trying to get all the ducks in a row. You're a busy man.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. You got to make time for stuff sometimes, don't you?
You do.
I mean,
you do.
We talked about it a bit, and just it's like lining up. You know, when we're both not doing something work or
for sure
hunting or yeah.
That was part of the other reason now I think about it is because I went to Snake Island.
Yeah,
and we were going to do it, and you were like, "No, fucking wait, we'll talk about Snake Island." So,
I'm super excited to hear about it. I'm super excited to hear about it.
We'll start there then. I've got lots of notes on you, lots of prompt questions and stuff. What would you like to know?
I haven't really watched all the videos.
Okay,
it's another make time for things, I guess. But you see them pop up, and I click on a story, and there's 50 of them. I'm like, I don't have time to go through all this, but I really want to see what happened.
Yeah.
So, I guess I just want to know what the experience was like, because I could see you guys had to pack in basically everything, which is a different sort of scenario to what we're probably used to.
It's what I've always wanted to do. I think it's I don't know, I like it, but I think it's because we don't really have the option down here. Same as samba hunting. But basically, so for those that don't know, there is a hog deer ballot every year that is run by the ADA, Australian Deer Association. In Blonde Bay, there's a population of hog deer, which are pretty small deer that sort of look like samba. I reckon they look like mini samba sort of thing, about the size of a sheep. And every year you pay $25, I think it was this year. And do you put in for it?
No, well, I mean, I'm going to have to now. Now I know all about it, I'm going to have to, yeah.
So you basically pay your money and they put you in a ballot. And this year they said there was 1,700 people that went in. I've been trying for, I think it's 8 or 9 years, I can't remember, but trying to get a go and it's never happened. I know of people that have been trying it's been going for 30 years. I know some people that have said they've been trying for 20 years and haven't had a go. And a mate of mine got called out. He's got his name pulled out as an emergency for Snake Island, which is you got to get to by boat. So it's what I'd describe as like survivalist hunting. There's no shops. Occasionally there's some cattlemen on the island, which you can't go near. They're sort of in their own part, but there's no shops, no one to come rescue you apart from choppers and stuff. It's pretty full on. So everything that you need, you've got to take in, and you're there for pretty much a week. So my mate Pete got his name pulled out, and I was like, dude, I'm coming. Like, just basically invited myself, and so flew over. Well, I suppose the journey started back here. I was dehydrating meat and fucking stuff flat out, and which was really stupid because I had to take it all over there with me then. But anyway, that's another story. So went over there, and he picked me up from the airport. We stayed in Port Welshpool. And then the following morning, which is a Sunday at 10 a.m, they had you go to this. It was like this, almost like abandoned-looking building down at the wharf, and it's all go there. Like the big boats from King Island and stuff bring the cattle back and forth. There's trucks and shit going on everywhere, fishermen and whatnot. So it was at 10 a.m. and he basically gives you a rundown of what Pete had said that they'd already gone through in the briefing a couple of weeks beforehand. And then literally it was just like being released into the wild. It was like we were nearly running. It was like, yep, that's all. And it's like to the boat ramp, launching the boats, went and parked the ute and just headed out. And that first day, like it was fucked. It was Pete's got this, I think it's like a 5.5 metre Quintrex half cab thing that he's conveniently cut the cab off. And it was I couldn't have been any wetter. I was head to toe drenched.
Was it warm though, or was it?
Dude, it was. Those guys were freezing.
The weather was good.
Yeah, I was in footy shorts the whole time.
Yeah.
Apart from when we were hunting,
just perfect snake attire.
Yeah. But the actual going in there, like, so we punched across in the boats, and I was like nervous and the only reason that sort of, I suppose I felt somewhat at peace was there was other boats there, like because Pete was like, oh, we got EPIRBs, and I'm like, yeah, they're fucking gonna take a while. Like this stretch of water's treacherous as. And then, took the boat in and moored it up and basically... Oh, no, took it in, beached it, and then had to just toss everything off, then walked it out to, like, fucking belly button high water, if not deeper, and double anchored it, and then walked in. And we allowed... So that was on the Sunday. You're allowed to hunt 8 a.m. Monday morning, and you weren't allowed to hunt until after 12 o'clock Friday. So we'd sort of budgeted to be there for that amount of time. But we walked everything in to start with. So Pete had been over beforehand and done a bit of reconnaissance and stashed a rickshaw in our stand and stuff there, which was so good. Like 2 A-frame ladders, and then a bit of aluminium at the bottom to rest our feet on, a bit scaffold plank to sit on, and then another like a bit of sort of 2 bits of alley coming up off either of the ladders, and a bit along the front to sort of, or just hang a camo net off and to be able to shoot off of. So we went in, set that up first, then went to camp and set camp up, and basically just played the whole scenario through our head. It's like, this is what we're going to do if the wind's doing this and that and whatnot. And I said, we were the first hunters in the first period, so... the island's untouched apart from that, hunting-wise.
That's a great spot to be, isn't it?
It was. So we were in what some would call one of probably the lesser good hunting spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole first one's in, it was like perfect. And yeah, so we set everything up. We were running through the scenario. I was like, well, what are we going to do? Because the place is so tidal, we knew we wouldn't be able to get back to we only had a certain window to get back to the boat. So we did all the math. It was like, well, it was about an hour to a little bit over an hour to pack in from the boat. I was like, right, the tide was at 12, I think it was, or 11, I can't remember. Anyway, but we did the math and it worked out that 9:30 would sort of be comfortable, the end of it being comfortable. 10 o'clock would be the latest we could shoot a deer and still get off the island that day. Yeah. And anyway, so we went to bed, got up the next morning, and sort of Pete walked in. I could literally be a spectator, like in the rules and stuff. It was like, not allowed to look at hog deer.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, what's being like a +1?
Yeah.
So they allow that, but you're like, well, you can have your eyes closed the whole time.
Literally, so in the screen in this conference room where they're telling us all the rules and stuff, it felt like he was describing me as being like a housewife from the 1960s. Seriously, it was like you can stay around camp, you can clean up if it's not a total fire ban, you can get wood for the fire, you can fix dinner, like all this shit. It was, it was like you're not allowed to look for hog deer, you're not allowed to look for sign of hog deer.
So you can't help.
You're not supposed.
You're not supposed to be like,
no.
Look, I've seen.
No, so I mean, you can be there with, but you're allowed to. So it's one of those things that it's worded pretty well. So I'm allowed to have binoculars and I'm allowed to bird watch. What if I have to be looking at a bird?
Well, I just happened to spot one where you're not allowed to tell him, or
but other parts of it are difficult. So with the rifles, like no one's allowed to have a gun on that place at all, unless you get called out and then you are given permission to have one firearm. I can never, even though I have a gun license, I could never be in control of that firearm.
Yeah.
So, which again made it difficult, even on the boat, because the waters are classed as the reserve or the park or whatever it is. So basically, the rifle had to come everywhere with us.
Yeah.
Just so Pete was in control of that rifle, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we set up, and and then went to bed, and I had the fucking worst night's sleep.
I did. That is one of the stories I did see of you. He was like laying there, looked like you just woken up from death.
It was bad. And the worst thing was too, is it wasn't that bad, but I mean, we knew we couldn't hunt till 8. So we got up, and again, because I couldn't do much, I can't, we were playing by the rules. So there was one spot that wasn't where we set up our stand that Pete wanted to have a look at first. So I basically dawdled along behind with the rickshaw. Pete went and looked at one spot, nothing there. We went back into where our stand is. I sort of hung back. Pete walked in first. It was a real sort of marshy, like everything's real high, all that sort of stuff. When Pete walked in, there was nothing there. Come back and got me, and we wandered in and sort of set up for the day. And I actually was bird watching, saw some cool birds there, which was trippy. But
do you have one of those apps where you can what is it that you take a photo and it tells you?
I've got one of those for plants, man. Funnily enough, you take a photo of the plant, it tells you what the plant is. But no, there was no service there. We had the Starlink.
So you had right. So you had a Starlink with
you.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have had to backlog all your shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do. If situations like that, I pretty much got my phone in airplane mode, because if it's got like a hint of reception, it hates it more than if it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'll just put it on airplane mode and then get on the Starlink later on.
Otherwise, they start uploading in different orders.
Yeah,
and just random shit happens.
And then I try to open something and it just has a fucking meltdown. But anyway, so we were sitting there, and it got to 9:30, and I was like, fuck, it's getting close, and still nothing. Pete was starting to doubt the spot. He was umming and ahhing about it. And I won't say too much because Pete wants to do a podcast about it, which we will. But anyway, it comes around to 10 o'clock and nothing happened. I was like, oh, well, that, we close that window then. That's not going to happen. And then it was 10:30, and we were sort of sitting here. I was looking that way. Pete's looking this way. And we're sort of sitting there, and fucking Pete, he grabs my leg, and I was like, fucking righto, mate. He's like, I'm serious. And he's just staring. And I was like, yeah, righto, bro. He's like, I'm fucking serious. And I still thought he was having me on. And I was like, well, I'm not going to call his bluff, and potentially ruin this whole thing. So we're sitting there, and then, I'm waiting. And he's like, right, you're right, because it dropped its head. And I look over, and it's pretty much as soon as I look over, this thing looks up. So then Pete and I are both staring at this thing. I was like, fuck. He like this, and it's just staring at us.
It's actually happening.
Yeah. And I don't know, hog deer to me look like they've got Down syndrome a bit. Have you? Have you not? Do you think?
No, I haven't really looked at them in that light. But.
It's there. Anyway, but so this thing's looking at us, and I was like, what felt like forever. I was like, this is what the fuck? Couldn't reach my GoPro, couldn't do anything, and it finally drops its head, and I knew that my phone was sitting underneath my bino harness, my bino bag, sort of next to me. Pete had the rifle sitting in the tree right behind us. So this thing, it drops its head again, and so I just had my eyes on it, reached down, got my phone, couldn't get my GoPro, and Pete's got the rifle, and then I hit record. And have you seen the video of that?
I haven't seen it. No.
It's fucking. I was looking at this deer, wasn't looking at Pete or anything, and just Pete, the fucking. I reckon it's sick. You can just see the look in his eyes, and he's staring at it, and then it drops its head, pulls it up, bang, and squeezes, and nailed it right there and then. But it was 10:30. I was like, fuck, this is, we're not going to make it. And we went over there, and Pete was like, well, we got to try. I was like, yeah, fuck, true. So at worst, we'll just camp on the beach. So we literally gutted it, and then we were going to take the rickshaw and the stand back out. But Pete's got another mate in it'd be 2 weeks' time, I think, who he's going over with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
So which is a blowout, unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we were going to take this stuff out. Pete was going to bring it back in. But Pete, we just ripped it down and stuff it in the bush, which you can do, because we're coming back for it.
Yeah.
Just stuffed it all in there, and then basically just legged it back to camp, stripped down camp, and I said, Pete, I was like, I know you're fitter than me. And Pete I was like, you just go, and I'll do what I can. And basically got back to the boat, and it wasn't as sort of as urgent as what I thought it would be. We got back there at the time that we thought we'd have to, and I was cooked, man.
Yeah.
But chucked everything on the boat, and that feeling, I had it played in my head. One of those things I've always wanted to do is literally you're coming back from an island with the animal you've just harvested, your trophy on the boat, Yeah, I remember,
what's that like? Real backpack hunt style.
Literally,
like you're out in the wild, like you said, like survival hunting is actually a really good way to look at it. I've never thought of it like that, but it is.
Yeah, and the whole like I can't remember who it was, but back when I was like real young and I first started getting into like hunting and shooting and whatnot, and these images of blokes like with moose and stuff, in like the jet boats and stuff. I was like, oh man, that's and doing that with this hog deer was just. It was unbelievable, like just soaking it all in. So good.
It's a cool experience.
It was, and it all worked out awesome. So then after that, our plan was if we had spare time, we'd go up to the high country. So we actually left 2 much larger rifles at Alpine country, and then so we made the tide. Then we had to ring the GMA officer. They like jaw it and everything, weigh it, take photos of it, like condition of it, and all that sort of stuff. So we flew back to the boat ramp, met him. And then literally butchered up the animal, caped it out quickly. And then we like flew to Alpine country, got there within like half an hour to spare, picked up the 2 rifles, and then got to the taxidermist, dropped the head off there, dropped the boat off at Pete's mate's place, and then headed up the high country.
That's cool.
It was wild, man. So we got there, we set up camp at like 11 o'clock that night.
So it was all really quick, eh?
Super quick, like 48 hours.
You had heaps of spare time to go to the high country.
Well, at that time, it was just like, that's the thing, it was like, there was a big push. It was like if we like make this window, that's a whole extra day we get up high. But then we got up there and there's bloody fires at the other side of it. So it shut like the whole, like most of the top of it. So, but we still had a blast. We saw a few deer, like a few sambar. That was the whole plan. If we get me a sambar, but we saw a few I could have shot, but a younger me would have. But,
so when you went last, because a bit of backstory, I suppose we were on the boat at the same time.
Yeah.
I was heading to Bathurst with the old man because he was racing over there, and you were heading to the high country.
Yep. So that was last Easter.
So you didn't get one while you were over there that time?
Nah, I saw one that would have been like, he was ideal. He was still in soft velvet and his tops were just starting to come in. He was a monster. And we were watching him for, maybe an hour and a half the first day.
It's almost a shame to shoot them though, because you don't get the full potential of what the animal's going to be.
It was an easy shot. It was like 500 metres. It was an easy pack in and out. I could have done it. It would have been ideal, but I would have been shooting it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I leave that, like I like to think I'll be rewarded later on down the track sort of thing.
Yeah. That's when we get to the last trip I went on, it's a very similar story of like could have, but just wasn't quite.
And it was hard as to make that call because that was the first time that I'd been like proper sambar hunting. And at that time, like I've been waiting, so long and built all this up in my head so long to do it. But then to make that call, it was like, I'll be doing it for the sake of it.
Yeah, and it's look, because guys have been sambar hunting for 20 years and never shot anything, at least anything decent.
Yeah.
And then you've got like, well, what if I don't actually get back here?
Yeah.
That's the next thing is like going through your head. It's like, do I shoot?
Yeah.
But is it fulfilling to shoot just for the sake of shooting? Like
for
sure.
I've got a lot of like when I was younger, I shot so many deer that I, like from a game management point of view, I shouldn't have done. And just any tags, any permits, whereas now I'm a lot more conservationist type of thing, trying to let the heads grow and whatnot. And I've got a fair few deer mounted on my wall, and like the biggest fallow that I've got on there isn't huge by any means. It's 216 and something. So it's not massive, but that wouldn't even be like top 3. As far as my favourite hunts go. Oh, it might be top 3.
It's kind of funny how that is, isn't it?
It is. And I know a lot of guys that are the same. I know blokes that have shot like high 230s.
Yeah.
And this bloke in particular, who's also been bear hunting, his favourite's 204 that he's got.
Yeah.
Because it was just, I think it was like last day of the season, trying to rattle it in, all this stuff. So it is strange, but so no, I haven't actually squeezed the trigger on a sambar yet. It was, I could have shot some hinds and shot some spikies, but again, I would have been doing it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Couldn't bring back any of the meat because I was like at capacity from going over there.
So with the hog deer, one of the things I was going to ask, like the hunting side of things, are there regulations on how you can hunt them, or is it because they're quite skittish little deer? Like they're not. They're very antisocial. Like
yeah.
So it's best for you to sit can you hunt them and stalk, or is it the ground doesn't suit? Like, the country doesn't.
I mean, to the letter of the law, you can, but you just wouldn't be able to do it. So pretty much everyone that goes in there, like, there's no decent trees that you'd want to put yourself up to be able to get in a tree stand.
Yeah.
So the most conventional way is everyone builds these rickshaws. And then some people build the rickshaws with like an A-frame in them. So it's like it doubles as a rickshaw and a seat. You just got to get up high. Everything's like, we're walking through waist-high sags, and there's just these it'll be thick tea tree with these like little snippets of, short green grass. Mm-hmm. So where we had our stand set up was right on the back of this tea tree, and everything's like waist-high sags, just thick as, and then there's just little snippet of sort of green grass.
Yeah.
So there's one spot where you can get up a tree, but no, the rest is just height. But you can bow hunt them and stuff, because obviously, which is a luxury we don't have down here.
Yeah, which is a shame too. But
it is. That's on the list of one of these to talk about. But yeah, so it's it's pretty much getting a rickshaw in or a ladder. Like one fella who came in, who sort of walked past us when we set up camp. He literally just had. Oh, it would have been interesting to see it set up, because I reckon it would have been sketchy. But he just had like sort of a 6 or an 8 foot high A-frame ladder. And then he had like those old orange plastic seats that had like a swivel bait, like a bearing on it sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how I'd feel sitting on top of a ladder in the bush. And that was the other, like Pete had built this thing that worked perfectly in his concrete garage floor. And luckily he just thought, like, he took some wooden blocks about the size of that tablet. And still with 2 people on it, like there's, and our gear and stuff, it's easy 200 kilos.
It's a fair bit of weight, yeah.
You're sitting in like this thick stuff, it was an experience, and hopefully I'll get called out one day. As Pete said, I'm
going to have to start putting in for it. Like, it makes sense too, doesn't it?
Well, it's $25, but people from all around the world, like a lot of Kiwis put in for it.
Yeah.
A lot of Tasmanians always get called out. Never me.
Interesting. Never you.
But there was a couple of fellas from like other countries this year, which was interesting. But they give you like these badges, these like sew-on, like Blonde Bay deer hunt, blah, blah. Yeah. And there's 1 year that I entered, but I never got the badge, and I got lost in the mail or whatnot. And it's like a thing. Like, I just want the badges. Yeah. Like, I want to hunt, but I just really want the badges. And I've emailed them, and they've just been like real dismissive and flippant. And I'm like, so I'm going to get someone else to make one. I'll put it in like one of the groups and say, can someone give me a photo, because they're always different colours and whatnot, and get my own made. But that's like a thing in itself now. I'm just like, if I want to pay $25 for the
just to collect your badges,
literally. But it's done pretty well. Like there was 1,700. I don't know what that works out to be. 1,700 times 25. What's that? You only good at math?
No, truck driver, brother. I've got 13 gears. I can count to 13. That's about it.
42.5 grand. So it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they put a lot, or they give a fair bit to parks, I think.
So do the internationals, when they apply, is there a different ballot for them? Like, is it more expensive?
No.
Is it
as far? No, there's no option when I've applied. It's literally just
anybody.
It's real simple. Name, address.
Yeah.
And then your bank, your card details and all that. So, it's all the same. Doesn't matter if you've been in it once. That's another thing. A bloke, because I put it all over my social media. Going to Snake Island, and a fair few people like reached out and said, I've been hunting, and a lot of people since then have been asked me for advice. Not that I've had much to give, but there was one fella who reached out to me, and he's been called out 4 out of the last 5 years. And
no way.
Yeah, and I was just like, I said to Pete,
so it's probably not the guy you want the tips from, because he obviously hasn't done any well.
Well, no, he's done really.
He has. He's shot every.
He's fucking smoked him. I'm like, something's going. Like, don't want to make any
shady stuff going on.
Don't make any accusations or anything, but like, I was like, don't know. It just looks. But yeah, so there's doesn't matter how many times you get pulled out, where you're from, or anything like that. Everyone goes in the same ballot. And,
so if you've been 6 times,
yep,
you still might go next year.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. And
it's just luck of the draw.
It is. So that was Pete's second time. Pete got in like early 2016, I think he said, and he shot a stag, small stag. So like a big one's like 17 inches sort of thing, like a real big one. I think he shot like might have been 11 or a 12 or something.
Yeah.
That first year, and then got called out again. But
what was this last one?
Shit, I should know. 14 maybe.
Yeah, so reasonable.
Yeah, I've got a photo of it on my phone somewhere, the actual thing. But he said the same thing. It's strange. Like, I'm so used to seeing our fallow deer, and like you look at a deer and you can see by like the body size of it and the way they walk with a bob, and you only need like a quick glimpse of like a certain part of their antler, and you can make
a pretty good idea.
Yeah, of like, you know, if it's going to be a decent head.
Yeah.
This thing that like looks like it's got Down syndrome, that's half as tall, that's just standing at you and looking at. Because to start with, I was like, oh, it's a spiky. But then I was like, well, no, like it's, you know, it's, yeah. So it was hard to get a gate. And Pete said the same. He said, fuck, I thought that was bigger, but it was all formed and everything. 6 points. So, But yeah, no, it was an interesting little thing. But there's a fair few places all around that area that you can sort of hunt. But blonde, like that's like a big thing. Everyone wants to get into blonde barn.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as Pete said, like Murphy's Law. I don't know if it is Murphy's Law actually, but the
one of them.
Yeah, it's some sort of law. Like the fact that I've been itching to go for so long, and went over with him, he's like, next year you'll get called out.
Yeah,
like, well, hopefully.
I mean, fingers touch wood.
Yeah, bloody oath. But he said, who will you take? I was like, fucking you, mate. Like, you live in Victoria. It makes sense. The guy, so if you don't take your own boat, you could get chartered in. Mm-hmm. So, don't quote me, I think it was about $600 maybe. It might have been $600 each way. And anyone that wants, you know, they chuck in and they'll punch you across. But I heard the one of the charter guys beached their boat as we'd finished, we started walking in, and like it all looked smooth sailing. But then talking to one of the guys the day before or the night before at the pub, we went there for tea, and we were talking about the charters, and he was like, "Fuck, you wouldn't do that." He said that he's heard stories of like the boat pulling up to like nipple deep water, and it's like, "This is it,
see you boys."
Yeah, out you get, but no, they look like they did a good job. So, it's literally everything you take in, you use the stuff you need, and you just got to do it for two people just from the weight, like
all the stuff you got to carry in.
To do it as one person, it would be.
So you guys have like a wheelbarrow set up going on, like a wagon behind you.
Yeah,
like
literally.
Bike, was that bike wheels on it or something?
Yeah. So Peter built these.
It's a little development.
Yeah. So we're like walking along, and you can hear like this thunk. I was like, what the hell? What's going on here? And then I've got videos of it, but Pete's pulling this rickshaw, and one of the wheels, like, it'd go over a bump and it'd just like buckle and then flip itself back out. And I was like, oh no, like this is...
How long before we're carrying all of this?
Yeah. Anyway, so I took a video and I was like, stop, dude, and like showed him, and he was like, what the fuck? And then we looked at it. These bike wheels are plastic. And I was like, didn't you think to look at this? Like, I just found it on Marketplace. But it got through, didn't it? It made it. It made it, so it was good. But like, ideally, you'd get, you know, those bikes with like the sand tires on the fat ones.
Yeah.
One of those, like an electric hub on the back that you can just like push yourself up.
Yeah.
Perfect, because it's easy enough to do. There's a couple of sections of these. I mean, they're not big. They're probably like 4 or 5 foot, but they're big enough to slow you down. Just these sort of gradual sand dune sort of things. And they wreck you. And then just like pulling yourself through.
It's like walking in soft sand is bad enough as it is.
Yeah, and then pulling
until
a rickshaw.
You get to like a dune.
Yeah. And like these sags and stuff. But yeah, all in all, it was a wicked experience, man. Like,
that's cool.
So great. It just, even though I didn't get to shoot my samba, I had a hell of a good time, which was good.
That's what it's all about, though, isn't it?
It is indeed. So, and on the hunting thing, so as far as, I mean, we're in Tassie, we're sort of pretty blessed with the stuff we do have, but we're also pretty limited. But you'd say you mostly hunt fallow deer? And
Yeah. I mean, outside of wallaby with the dogs.
With the dogs, I've seen you do a bit of dog hunting.
Fallow. I've grown up doing it since I was really little.
Oh, really?
You know, like hunting deer, I guess. I actually have a good story. It wasn't hunting deer. Actually, no, it might have been. I must have been like... I'd have to have been like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
With the old man, and he'd spotted a stag somewhere, and he's like, right, sit here on this log, don't move.
Yeah.
Don't leave, don't come looking for me. Like, because obviously, you know, he knows where he's going, so he's probably going to come back over here somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, all right, and I'm freaking out a little bit, and it's getting like close to dusk, I guess, like it's towards the end of the day, and I'm sitting on this log, and like I don't remember heaps of my childhood. Like, I don't have like...
It sounds like there's trauma
a heap of
coming.
memories. I don't have like a heap of memories, but this one, I like never forget it. Because I'm sitting on this log, and I just remember like you know, like your perspective when you're really little is kind of different too. Like everything's huge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember getting off the log like half a dozen times at least I would have had to, and like walking to the edge of where the bush started, like because I was in like a little clearing, just like sitting on this fallen log, and I like walked to the edge, and I'm like, do I go? Like, he went this way. And I just remember like going back, like he said, stay here, and then like I don't know how long this went on for. It was probably like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, like, and it felt like my life was like it's coming to an end, you know, like this is the end times. Yeah. And Dad's. Like I've spoken to him about it, obviously now, but he's like, yeah, I've never felt so bad in my life. He's like, come back, and you were just like mortified, crying, like just.
But you did stay there.
But I stayed on the log, yeah. So, but the amount of times I like tempted fate, I was like to the edge. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, so I guess since I was really, really young, I'm definitely no expert in it, that's for sure. But I've spent a lot of time in the bush with people that are pretty good at it, I guess. But
it definitely teaches you. Like I noticed with so the T-Man, he's 17 now, but he always came hunting with me, and now my youngest boy. The girls like it, but my boys have always lived for it. My youngest boy Miller, it definitely it teaches you. One, I suppose, listening to your father, your parents, whatever. Yeah. But and resilience. Like there's been times where, you know, like Miller we'll be in a paddock with cows. He's got this thing with like cows. There might be cows, and he'll be like freaking out. But there'll be an animal like you just got to wait, and you can, like I'm just like just quiet, don't talk, and you can see it in him. Like I'm trying to, you know, it's trying to find that fine line, I suppose, between comforting him and letting him know it's all right. But you can see that he wants to ask, but then I suppose there's some part in him that's like, Dad said it's all right. It's going to be all right, you know, like. Building that in them sort of thing. It's definitely...
That along with Dad also said, don't fucking talk. Yeah. Don't make any noise.
It's definitely...
Pick your feet up.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Such a classic.
I get a lot of people that I suppose, and it's probably not the right thing to do for my sport, but like, oh, you know, I'd love to come along. Not a chance. Yeah. I fucking hate it. Like, what do you mean? I'm like...
it's so much harder. Like, it's hard enough as it is.
I get really frustrated about situations that I'm not in control of. Like, I don't go on the back of motorbikes with people. Never did when I was younger, stuff like that. If I'm walking through the bush and if I can walk over a stick and not tread on it, so should the person behind me. Yeah, if they don't, I get unnaturally angry.
Follow my footsteps.
Yeah, but I get like more worked up than I should. Like, you know, I'm thinking like, what are you doing? Why did I bring you? Like, am I ever going to talk to you again after this? Like,
is this the end?
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, you've been so fallow and
fallow. Yeah. Funny you talking about the hog deer thing with the camera that you just happen to get at the right time and you've captured. So the biggest fallow that I've shot from, I don't want to like overstate it, but I'm pretty sure when we scored it was 227, something like that. So it's a good head, really nice head. I had my mate Cam that I went to the US with, because he's from Montana.
Yep.
His dad's from down in Jeeveston. His mum's from over in the US. So he grew up, I think, for the first few years in Tassie, and then they moved back over to Montana, and then he's only just moved back to Tassie in the last like 4 years, three or 4 years. I don't know, because I wouldn't leave that place. Man. I've
never
magic.
Been there, but yeah.
If like in a heartbeat, if there was an opportunity for me to go there, and I just feel there's something about the place. It's
just
wild.
Feel drawn to it.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, the opportunities to hunt and to live like that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
There's just so many different things you can hunt and do, and places you can go. And anyhow, Cam's come back over here, and he got off the plane. So he's freshly moved back to Tassie, like back to Australia. Got off the plane, and the next day I was going shooting. So So he actually got off the day before. So he got one night, slept, and then I was like, I'll pick you up and you can come with me. I spoke to the property owner. He said, you can come along, and because like obviously he's a big hunter as well. And he's like, oh, that'd be awesome. Let's do it. So he's got on the piss with one of his cousins that night and had a bit of a night. And I picked him up after work, like in the afternoon. Anyway, we head up there. We all have a few beers, have a good time, and sort of talking about hunting fallow deer, and with like Dad and a couple of his mates that were there. And then we get out. It was the last weekend of the season too, so it was
starting to make a bit of noise.
It was the Saturday, so it was a cool time to have him there, especially if we could get him croaking in the morning or something.
Yeah.
Which we didn't, but we got out of the ute. We didn't really have time. We got out of the ute, and headed up into this bit of bush that's kind of like you head up on a hill and then it kind of plateaus a little bit up on top. There was a couple of guys sort of that side and down the other side of the bank, and I was kind of like bottom side of the hill, but where it kind of levels out, but it's just down a little bit. And there's kind of like a logging road that they put through when they logged the place years and years ago, just below. And we come up onto like the flat. We'd come over one of the fences, and a possum was in one of the trees right next to us. Like he must have just come out, and Cam's like, oh shit, and he's like got his phone out. And as he's filming this possum, I'm turned around to look at him, and there's a little black stag like just coming up just behind him. Like I'm talking like, God, it couldn't have been more than 15 metres off us, and he was just coming up, and I was like, something's kicked him up, like something's moved. He's coming at us, like somebody's must be, because we're kind of in a line working through the bush. So Cam's filming this possum, and I'm trying to like tell him without making too much movement or noise, like, behind you, bro, like there's and he's like looking at me, and I'm like, dude, and he like kind of turns around, and then he catches the little stag on the camera, and because I'm kind of wary at that stage, I'm like, this is cool that he's getting to experience this, like his second day back in Australia. And I'm like, in the back of my head, it's still like something kicked that deer up. There's probably a chance there's going to be another one, seeing as they're just starting to come towards rutting. Like, and I'm like looking at him do that, and then I seen this flash out the other side of my eye, and I look over, and there's this red one running sort of down. He'd come from the exact same spot, so they must have been together, and he's sort of running in this like, there's a bit of a dip there. We were kind of up on a bit of a rocky sort of outcrop, and as soon as I saw it, the same thing like you said, you know, when you were saying about you can catch a glimpse of an antler and you kind of get a pretty good gauge, like, and usually your first instinct is pretty accurate. Like if you see it and then you got to go, oh, is he big enough? Like, I mean, if that's what you're into, because for me, I eat them, and what I don't eat, my dog does. But I'm still trophy hunting at the same time.
There are people that say I don't trophy hunt, but I think for the bulk, larger people, you're fucking lying to yourself. I think it's because people think there's some sort of shame in that.
Well, that's 100% what it is. People are like, oh, trophy hunters this or whatever. It's not like we're on a $50,000 trophy hunt where they're in a pen, you know? Like you can still... And I mean, trophy hunting's more selective anyway, so it's probably better for it.
And as you said, like, you still eat. If you were like, oh yeah, I shot this thing ring barked it, like cut the head off, and forgot,
and then leaves like,
your shit.
Yeah, like, that's not hunting, you know. So we get. Keep in mind, this is 15, 20 minutes into the hunt, and this thing runs out, and straight away I'm like, you're it. Yeah, like that's good. And you know, one of the things I always go to when they're not running, if they're feeding, like antler height to the top of the back's a pretty good indication. You know, like somewhere around 26 to 30 inches long sort of thing. So you're like, oh, he's got good length. But this thing, just the way he carried himself and ran, as soon as I got a glimpse of him, I'm like, that's it. And Cam's like, at the moment, filming this other black one.
Oh, so he hadn't seen this.
So he's looking at the other one, and this is all on video, just by chance. This deer's out, he comes in the paddock, and I've like got down onto one knee, so resting on the knee, and I'm waiting for him to stop. I'm like, come on, you got to like pull up. I don't want to have to shoot while you're running. Like, stop. And he stopped for a split second, turned and looked back to like sort of towards us where that other little stag was. And right then, like I got the chance to bang, pull the trigger, and he ran probably, I don't know, 10 metres up the bank a little further, and then just toppled backwards. And it was just like all on video, like all there. Just that's awesome. It was so good, man. It was so, and for like Cam to see it that way, to experience it, to see like. And a good deer too. Yeah. To hit the deck, it was awesome. And then we got back to where we skin him and that. And one of Dad's mates looks at Cam and he's like, "It's not always that fucking easy. Don't think that's how it's going to be every time."
So to give everyone a bit of an idea, and I suppose this is my opinion. But so that one went 227. You said
227. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So I mean, the most people that I sort of talk to and hang around with in the hunting scene. And, well, I suppose my point of view would be 200 is a good deer. 200 sort of, you don't want to be shooting anything 200. Yeah. And then the difference from 200 to 220 is pretty big. The difference from 220 to 230 is even bigger. Yeah. And then anything over 230 is, like, monstrous.
If you shoot anything over 230 in Tassie, like, that's getting to, for the average person, that's getting towards, like, a once-in-a-lifetime sort of. Sure.
There was, what would it be? It would be 4 or 5 years ago, I think. No, maybe not quite that long, so 3 or 4 years ago. and we were putting in the infrastructure for the Brighton High School before it was built. And we were like literally the Brighton gun shops here. We were on the other side of the road, so I'd quite often like wander over and be looking about and talking to those guys. And they had a head in there. Someone shot when it was 250 something, and then I think that might have been the year I shot the 216. I think, but in any case, I went up to see Stoney, Simon, the taxidermist, and he had 3 to do that year, which is. But that was like 3 years coming off the back of like amazing feed, amazing conditions.
That's the thing too. I guess people not involved in it probably don't realise. Like it really depends on the tucker they've had throughout the year, whether they're actually going to grow well.
Yeah. And not only that, the whole, like you could have the most amazing head. I don't think people realise how soft antler is.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is like just if they give that a bump, or like if they like have a crook foot or something like that, just throws. It's like the antler's the first thing to go. Sort of
one of the first, or probably the first Tassie male deer that I shot. He had like he was only fairly young deer. He had one antler, nothing like to talk about score wise, but the other side he like come up and he had the brow on the tray, and then it just split into like a slingshot.
I've seen that one.
So
I think I've
got a photo. Oh, yeah. It might be. Yeah. Yeah, it probably is somewhere.
Yeah.
Funny looking deer, but when we got up to it, and it kind of shows you how resilient these things are. He had a big wound in like right in his back leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was, and I mean like deep and just full of pus. So it was probably 12 months old. Like it, but it obviously showed.
Yeah.
The developmental like. The nutrients isn't going to that antler, and it's from what I've heard. I think it's like if they're injured on the right side, it's the opposite side that cops it.
Yeah.
So you could, as soon as you like saw the antler, that's pretty strange, and then you see the gaping wound in the back of him, and I don't know whether it was a fighting wound or whether he'd been shot once or what had happened, but it just it shows you that nutrients deficiency going to healing something else stops them growing that antler, which is like you said, soft, spongy.
It's weird how it all. And the fact that they just drop their heads, they drop their antlers every year. Have you seen that video of that moose? It was like, I swear it was
where he shakes them off.
Just both at the same time.
Yeah,
they fall down. It's such a good. I'd love a moose cast.
Oh, we had back. God, I must have been like 16. We went over to the States. Me, my old man, and my 2 sisters.
Yep.
Just for a holiday and have a look around, and that's when I first met Cam and his parents. So Dad knew his parents from down home over the years. And we'd gone to like a antique shop or a whatever, like an op shop sort of set up just in the middle of, I don't fucking know where, somewhere in Montana where we were, and he had a set of cast moose antlers there, like matching pair. Yeah, and Dad bought them.
Yeah. What would they be worth?
I don't even remember what he paid for them. But it didn't matter to him. He's like, I want these.
Yeah, for sure.
They ended up getting stolen.
Oh, fuck.
So we had them stored over there with Cam's parents and something, and one of the containers got broken into or something, and they got stolen. After like, Dad's like, I really want to try and get them back. And then they're like, they're gone. Someone's, Which is a real shame because it was cool. And it wasn't like a monster. No, but like to have a matching pair of moose paddles is
having a
crazy.
matching set of any antlers.
Any cast antler
is pretty unheard of.
You don't see it all that often.
Although what I have been seeing is that some of the like the not the governing bodies, but like the ADA, SSAA and stuff at their stands at like shows and whatnot, and they've obviously got them from pen deer. But they'll have a board there and it'll have like their antlers from like their life from the spike.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that before.
That looks pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
But finding matching antlers is very, very sort of unheard of in the wild sort of thing. Like
I've seen the place where we shoot. They've found cast antlers the year before, and that deer's been shot the following year, and you can match them up. Yeah. Like it's funny how the characteristics kind of all still there, but they're just a little bigger than they were before.
It's sort of like I can like it's weird. Like I like comparing it to my kids sort of thing. No, like the age that my kids are now, right? So my eldest girl's 9, but if I look back at her like sort of baby photos where I had no idea what she's going to look like at this point in time. But looking back now, I can sort of see like, oh yeah, that makes sense sort of thing. Similar thing with antlers, like you can see
that there's like defining features, that they've got. Yeah,
for sure.
The cool thing about like talking about, you've got some mounted, I've got some mounted.
Yeah.
Like one of them is that good one that I shot, and people might turn their nose up at having them on the wall, Like, oh, you just trophy hunt them and hang them on the wall. Like, but there's like a story with
everyone.
All of them.
Yeah.
Like, because I can tell you about each one. I've only got 3 of them at the moment mounted. I've got one that I want to get done, but I need another cape for him.
Yeah.
Ended up losing the black cape for him. But that good one, you know, you got that cool story with Cam, and the first time that he'd seen one shot in Tassie, and the red one I shot previous to that was like 216, I think, or 215, somewhere around that. He was the first good one that I shot sort of on my own without anyone kind of like, oh, walk over here, do that, you know, like. Yeah. And that's like one of my favourite ones. He's smaller than the big one, but it's like the whole story was, and that was again the last weekend of the season, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe no, it wasn't. It was the third, because the odd thing with it was the third weekend of the season, and he was croaking. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I was like, I heard it, and I was like, fuck was that? It can't have been. Like, there's no way.
Dude, that happens to me all the time. You'll be out there, because like, you know, if you go back to camp and you talk to other guys about it, and they're like, no, you're off your head. But I don't know how many times, dude, I've been like...
Dude, some of the looks I got when I shot that one, like, getting croak. I'm like, I'm telling you, man.
I swear, man, dead to rights, I've been out like opening morning, and like, oh, here's something, I'm like...
I mean, it's probably some young one that's not really clued up.
Or like somewhat like another bloke in the bush.
Trying to call one in.
But like, you're out there, and it does things to your head, dude. It's like, what's going on? Like... But there's, man, the sound that they make is like...
It's cool.
That's so good,
cool.
man.
If you get like, when they first start, you know, you get that like cold snap that gets them going.
Yeah.
If you're out on a morning and it's cold and like the fog's kind of in and it's starting to lift and you hear them going in a bit of a frost, it's a cool experience.
It definitely, it changes everything for the hunt. Like, to me anyway, you go out there and it's like, oh, if the wind does if it does that, you know, I'll come in this area, throw over there, this is the way I've got to get in, this is the way I've got to avoid and stuff. And then you go out there and you hear them croak, it's like, all of that's out the window. I mean, apart from the wind, apart from certain, you know, givens, but the rest of it's just like out the window. I know where they are. Like, I know where this one is.
Yeah, and it gives you a chance to start to figure a game plan out, you know what I mean? Like, that one was that one that croaked, because literally at first I'm like, there's no fucking way that was there's not a chance. Yeah. And then I waited, and then it happened again. And again, I'm like, fuck, that's early.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of, he was like in a real thick patch of wattle.
Yeah.
And like, the anticipation, because I had no idea how big he was at that stage. I'm like, is this just a little second horner coming out? Like, I'm sitting there and, you know, you start to get the adrenaline's coming, and you're like, because I knew he was working towards me out of the bush, and I'm just like leaned against a tree waiting, and then out comes a deer, and it was a female. I'm like, oh, he's still coming. And then I would like catch a glimpse of the wattles moving a bit, where he's sort of bashing his head around in there, and I'm like waiting, and he kind of came out a little, and I could just see one antler. I'm like, yeah, he's all right. Yeah. Like, if he comes out, I've got to get him to come out. And the girls were coming straight towards me. I'm like, this is going to fucking wreck this. Like, they're going to walk. They're going to either scent me or see me, because they're going to get close enough. And it all just happened to work out. He came out, turned broadside on, and I got a shot at him, That was like literally one of the proudest moments for me. It was like that first kind of solo hunt and successful hunt too.
That 216, the best one that I've shot down here, that was the first one I'd shot after Cruzy died. I don't think I hunted the year after Cruzy died, but the next year, and I was still like real messed up about it. So when I was like riddled with anxiety, and I was having panic attacks, and so I had, not that I was taking, but I had Valium with me in case, you know. So, and I was like, oh, I should be able to get away. Like, drove up north and went on this trip, and I remember it was like pissing down with rain, and I saw him like this morning, like this one morning, saw him. I can't remember if I had a shot at him or not. No, I don't think I did. Oh, no, I did. Had a shot at him and then missed him, and then went back, didn't see him that night, got up the next morning, and it was like bucketing down. Went out, daylight came, and then went back. Everyone's back at camp, like drying out their clothes, and I've sat, like, Cruzy was just in my head, and I was like, he'd be telling me to get out there. And I was literally, everyone's there having a beer, you know, 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever, around camp, and I was like, fuck it, I'll go back out, put my wet clothes on, and I was just in my head, I was just like, he'd want me to do this, he'd be pushing me. It was literally just on repeat, and I sat under this tree for a while when it got really, really heavy, and I couldn't have been wetter, and I was like, fuck it, and then wandered out, and it was in like this, on the edge of this tree plantation thing, and he was sort of just down over this bank, and the same thing, I walked down, and he like looked up at me at the same time, and he was, would have been 30 metres sort of thing, and I was like, I'm not missing you again. Whack them, and he dropped on the spot.
That's close too.
Yeah, man. And
that's almost like you got to aim down a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. And then I was and walked over there, and I was just started crying. I was just like this. Same. I was like, you know, I'd really, really pushed myself. Like a lot of those guys as well back at my camp. were a fair bit older than me, a bit older than me, and they'd done a lot of hunting, and they're sort of, it's not lazy hunters. They're, they've got big ones on the wall, and they're just, I'll get
been
one.
Doing it a long time,
yeah,
sort of thing.
And they're like, they're a bit more blasé about it, where I'm like, fuck, I've only got so many weeks, got to get this, and these guys are like, I'll shoot one if it's better than what I've got, or if I like the cape sort of thing. So at that point in time, it didn't take much to sort of stop those guys from shooting. It's raining. I won't go out.
We'll just have a beer.
And I'd sort of started to fall into that as well.
Yep.
Even though I was still sort of early on, and so that was really good just to push myself and to whack it.
There's a lot of it's emotion, I guess is the word, but there's like an emotional draw. I don't even know how to word it. It's like I don't know. There's just something about it, about hunting. There's more. It's more than what the photos and the I killed this or I did that. It's like there's just so much more to it. Like there's a connection sort of thing going on. I just like looking at deer, man. It doesn't worry me if I kill them or not.
I'm the same, and I get more enjoyment now. Not that I haven't peaked by any means. As I said, 216 is the best I've shot down here. I've still got a long way to go if I want to better it. But I've got mates that have either had their license for a long time or just a time poor or don't really have much of an idea. And I love it, like seeing that look on other people's faces.
It's magic, man. There's nothing like it. That give me goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah. Or go in somewhere and, where's your rifle? No, just bring me binos.
Yeah.
And just sort of give them your 2 cents. I'd do this, I'd do that. And which was what it was like. Like Pete's done a hell of a lot more hunting than me, but it was just that, you just be able to give someone
experience,
a hand.
man. It's just like this. One of the coolest things I've experienced in the bush, like those couple of stories are the ones that I've shot. They're awesome memories. Like they're amazing. It's great to have technology we have now to be able to either get it on video or get photos and whatever else. That's all great, and it was nice to kill 2 really good deer.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things that's happened with me is I took one of my mates who hadn't really shot many deer, maybe a couple, not heaps. I asked the guys where we shoot at. I was like, is it all right if I bring him up? Do we just go for a walk, shoot a female? And they're like, no drama. So I brought him up, and I am by no means a guide or even qualified to be in the room with guides, but to be there and kind of, we spotted these, I think there was 3 female deer down on a marsh. It was kind of a tough spot to get to them because they were in the open, and the only way to them was down a bank, which is kind of also open. There's only a couple of trees, but there was like 2 fallen logs just down in the paddock a little bit. And I said to my mate, I was like, look, I think what we'll do, we can't get to them straight here. We're going to go up the fence line here. I've got a pretty good idea where they're at. We'll get up here where we're back off, because the fence kind of run along the bank and they'd see you trying to climb over it. So I was like, we're going to go up here, jump the fence where they can't see us. Obviously a fence on the property we're on. It wasn't like jumping another fence. So we get over the fence, nice and quietly, and we duck down into this sort of, down the bank where they were kind of just shaded, I think, by the couple of trees that were on the line. So we kind of come down through there, and then I was like, all right, you belly up to that log there. The best eater's probably like the second black one or whatever. I'd give him just shoot that one. And up he goes, and I'm just sitting back watching with the binos, and he gets up to the log, bang, whoop, down she goes, clean as, hit the deck straight away. And it was that was one of the coolest feelings, was to help somebody else go and shoot one. Yeah. It brought me more joy than many of the ones I've shot before. It was awesome. It's just, there's nothing like it.
I think as well, so when I grew up shooting, not hunting, essentially, being on the farm. So the old man, it was just vermin control, spotlighting.
Yeah, just literally pest control. That's it.
Yeah. And I know, because I've got somewhere a set of antlers that he shot from when he was younger, but I think he just went on a trip with a mate. He never really interested in him. So I never really had anyone to teach me. And then it was only when I got my apprenticeship, and I would have been, sort of 18. I got my gun license. Not that I was shooting before that, because that'd be illegal. But
no, you have a miner's permit.
I do. Yeah, that's what I had.
16, 17.
But I anyway. So then talking to other guys that had been into deer hunting, and I was like, "Fuck, this sounds like fun." And that's when I started buying buying magazines and that sort of stuff, and getting right into it. And then did all sorts of research into what gun I should buy, and then the minimum caliber in Tassie's 243, and I ended up settling at a 270, which I've still got now. But yes, I was sort of very much self-taught for the large part, and just sort of found deer by chance, and then just sort of built on the back of that knowledge and from what I read. And then it wasn't until I got on a property up north where I shot for about 10 years, which is just pretty much sold now, so I don't know if that'll keep going. But anyway, going up there and teaching these guys, again, they'll say the same thing. I'm no expert, but but they'd done a lot of it sort of thing. Just like, I remember the first weekend I went up there or that first season, say, the knowledge that I got out of those blokes from that first season, that first 6 weeks or whatever it is of weekends, was phenomenal. I'd had this way and I was like, oh my gosh, I know it all now. And I was still very young. And I was like, oh yeah, I sort of know it all now. And then you go someone else says, oh, do you want to come for a hunt? And you go there, and then they've got different ways of doing things. And then when I first guided hunt in New Zealand stuff, and the stuff I picked up, like, it's just, that's the other part that I love even, is that, it doesn't matter if it's the sharing of knowledge.
Yeah, it's like the community kind of thing that's,
Yeah.
The groupthink thing going on there, where you're kind of passing on information to each other and different ways to do things.
Comparing notes. But so anyway, so getting back to America, so you went over there and you were chasing bear, or a bear.
Black bear, yeah.
Black bear.
Yeah, so should I start from the start, I guess?
Start wherever you want. About that? The start would make more sense from the listening point of view.
There's something that ties into what we were just talking about, but we'll circle back onto that when we get to it. So to start, as I'm leaving, I'm leaving home, the old man comes out and had a quick chat to him. He's like, all right, have fun, be careful, all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, Dad, I'm 30. It's all good. Nearly 30 at that stage anyway. So we head off to the airport, get up there, meet Cam at the airport. So here's like the coolest thing. I actually meant to post, it was Cam's old man's birthday the other day. And I meant to actually post on his wall a picture of us when we were in America. So Cam's dad booked a late flight, like late notice flight.
For you?
No, for himself.
Oh, yeah.
So we were going, me and Cam were going regardless. So the beauty of the whole hunt for us was it was like super budget friendly, because Cam's brother still lives over there and owns motels in Libby, which is the town where he's from and where we were hunting.
Yeah.
So we got accommodation that we didn't have to pay for.
Perfect. Which
is fucking awesome. So we really just had to pay for our flights and all the Bud Light we drank and the chewing tobacco, So we get to the airport. Shane, Cam's old man's, already booked his late flight, flown over. He's like, I'm going such and such date. I'm like, oh, you're coming now? And he's like, yeah. Me and Yvonne, Cam's mum, he's like, we're going to fly over a couple of days before you and get everything ready. It's like just the best people, man. They're just like the best friends you could ever ask for.
Yeah.
So Shane's gone over because all their stuff's in storage, right? Like the Cam's brother Matt's still there, but all the firearms and all that's all stored away.
Yeah.
Everything's locked up, all their hunting possessions and all their gear and everything's all stashed away. So because it was like buried deep in their storage area, Shane's gone over early, got it all ready, got the old Chev Silverado ready for us.
I want to be mates. Can I be mates with this guy?
It was great, man. So it's just like, I honestly can't thank the whole family enough, but like Shane specifically for like wasn't going to come, and then he's like, nah, actually, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and get it ready for you boys. So when you come in, so then we had a ride from the airport in Spokane in Washington ready, like they picked us up.
Yeah.
So we leave, get on the plane. That's right. As I'm leaving, Dad's like, don't get on the piss all night before you fly over there. Like use your brain.
That's exactly what you're going to do.
That's 100%. You're dead right. Like, it's a big flight. It's a big trip. So me and Cam get to Sydney for our overnight stay in Sydney before we fly over. And I got a few mates over there, and I messaged one of them, like, I'm in Sydney. Do you want to catch up? We'll have a few beers. He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'll catch up. He's like, where do you want to go? I'm like, I fucking know. I'm not from Sydney. You just pick a spot. And he's like, all right, we'll go to such and such pub. Can't even remember the name of it. Nice beer garden, like big screens, like a lot of sport viewing going on out there, sort of thing. So we get there, me and Cam pull up there. We had a couple of beers on the flight to Sydney, and then we go to the pub, and we get to the pub like, I don't know, 12.
Well, like at midday?
Midday, yeah. So we get to the pub there and catch up with my mate in Sydney, have a few beers. That turns into fucking heaps of beers.
All the beers.
So we're like, I think he left, I'd like to say around 6 o'clock. He's like, I've got to go. Well, maybe 5. He's like, I've got to go, boys. And me and Cam were like, fuck it, we'll go out in the beer garden and have a few more beers and maybe get a pizza because they had like a wood-fired pizza thing up the other end of the...
Perfect.
There's like a funny channel that like the train station stopped like right there at this pub. So you'd walk out in the beer garden and you could go like up the tunnel and there's a train station, but right on the train station is pokies. Like you walk off the train into the pokies area pretty much.
Yeah, right.
And it's kind of outdoors, so everyone can smoke out there and shit. And I was like, this is fucking strange. But they had a pizza joint there as well. So we'll get a pizza. A couple more beers, bit of pizza. And I was like, there was a couple of Irish dudes in the area. And I'm like, there's fucking Irish people here everywhere. Like, so we're sitting down at this table. I'm pretty blind at this stage.
Yes, you would be. So, the pub for 6 hours.
So we're sitting there having a feed, and another two Irish dudes sit down in work clothes, just finished work, at the table behind us. And I'm like, I might as well make some friends. You know, I'm pretty pissed. We're on a trip. And I'm like, so knocked off work, boys. Like, and they speak and they're Irish. And I'm like, fuck, you guys are Irish as well. He's like, yeah, dude, there's heaps of Irish people in Sydney. Like, there's a lot of in like formwork stuff, like in a lot of construction stuff. And we're kind of chatting to them from table to table. And they're like, come over here. Like, you fucking may as well sit over here. So we sat there until nearly midnight.
Far out.
Just talking with these dudes, having a great time.
Yeah.
Get back to the hotel bar. And we were like, maybe we'll get another feed. Or it must have been like 11 when we left.
Oh, that makes it even better.
Because we went to bed about midnight because they wouldn't serve me anymore in the hotel bar. They're like, you gotta go, bro. So I get back to the room, go to sleep, and our flight the next morning is like, I want to say 8 or 9 or something, 8 maybe. So we like wake up at like 6 because you got to be there like an hour or 2 hours early for fucking international.
Yeah.
We wake up and I'm just like, oh, Dad was right.
Yeah.
Like, don't do this shit. Like, so we had like grand plans of just going over, having a beer with my mate, getting on the plane, having a couple of beers on the way over to the US, just chill.
Yeah.
In the end, obviously we're so hungover, like unnecessarily hungover.
Yeah.
Get on the plane, it's a 13.5-hour flight or nearly 14 hours, I think, over.
That's, yeah.
And it's like, you know, like you have the map on the screen. You can look at the flight map. Yeah. And I'm just sitting in my chair, man. I'm just like, this is horrible. We must be getting close, right? So I've like pulled the map up and we haven't even got over Hawaii yet. I'm just like, oh, this is torture. So we leave at whatever time, 8 or 9 o'clock or whatever it was, maybe even earlier, I can't remember. We get to Los Angeles at 6 a.m. the same morning.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the time difference, right?
Yeah.
So, what are we like? Must be like 12 hours, 13, 14 hours behind, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We get to Los Angeles at, 6 in the morning or something stupid. And we're like, all right, we've got to have a beer now. You know, like we didn't drink the whole flight over. We're so crook, we didn't drink the whole flight over. We get to Los Angeles, get to a bar, get a couple of beers. Like, all right, we made it. We're on the other side. Just another flight up to Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
And
how what's that sort of look like? A
couple of hours.
Yeah, okay.
But we had, I want to say, an hour and a half-ish layover in Los Angeles to get to. So we fly then to Spokane, and by this time we're like, man, this is fucking torture. Like, this is such a long day because we didn't sleep.
Oh, really?
I can't sleep during the day.
Oh,
I really, really struggle to sleep during the day, even though I was like wildly hungover.
Yeah.
So I didn't sleep the whole flight. Maybe like nodded off for 10 minutes or something. Just like 14 hours on the plane into Los Angeles, another couple of hours into Spokane, and that's on like a smaller, real cramped plane. It's just it's horrible, man. And we're like, I think we might have had a little nap on the way to Spokane in this little plane, which you couldn't really sleep in anyway because it's like you're in a coffin. So we land Spokane. Meet Cam's parents there. They're all happy to see us. Like, yeah, and we're just like, fucking get us out of here. Like, this is torture. So we get in the car and we're like, all right, we're going to get a feed on the way. So it's like, what is it from Spokane into Libby? It's got to be like nearly 3-hour drive. Something
this
like
is
that.
like big time frames that you don't want to be doing when you're cooked.
Like, so just stupidly hungover and been awake. So by the time, here's the kicker. We get to Libby, and it's like afternoon by then.
Yeah.
By the time we fucking, so what are we going to do? can't sleep because we've got to get some shit ready for hunting. So we kind of gather up all the gear, get all the firearms out, make sure they're all good, change the scope on one. We're going to go to the range and sort that out.
Man.
And so we're fucking around with all this stuff. And we're allowed to swear on here, aren't we? I've been good. So we're doing all that shit. And then we're like, well, we might as well get some beers. So I walk over to the little service station across the road, walk in, grab some beer. I think Cam went over and got some Zins and some chewing tobacco. So I'd never tried chewing tobacco at that stage, which is a filthy habit, but it's great. So we go and get a few supplies, back to the hotel, and just kind of sit down. And we met up with there's a couple of older dudes that come up from Utah and hunt the same sort of time period, that they've been coming up there and staying at the family's motel for fucking years and years and years and years. So we caught up with them. I think they were there that day. It might have been the next day. Fuck, it's hard to tell, man. So in the end, it gets to I want to say it was 2 a.m. before we finally went to sleep. So you get so overtired that you just can't sleep. Like your brains have just gone into overdrive, and we're just we're sitting because we had 2 queen beds in this room, and we're just sitting there watching the TV. We put some fucking hunting show on or something, whatever we put on. We're just sitting there drinking beer, talking about how good it is. We finally did it, because we'd been talking about this since Cam had come over. And I always knew since I went over the first time that I was I have to come back here and hunt over here. It's amazing. So we're sitting there. At that stage, I'm pretty sure when the math's all done, it was close to 40 hours we were awake. And it was just so the next day, obviously, we slept until, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12 or something. Which, when it comes to the bear hunting, getting to the actual part of this story, it's the bears don't, and I'm definitely not an expert in bear hunting. If I'm not an expert in hunting what I've been hunting since I was a kid, I'm definitely not a bear hunting expert, but they don't move so much in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
So a lot of the guys don't really start going out looking for them. They're more of an afternoon, nighttime kind of. Yeah, right. Obviously, you're not hunting them at nighttime, but they're more of an afternoon sort of mover, and they're still sleeping morning time. So we wouldn't normally go out and hunt till about 10, which suited us really well, drinking all the time. So we'd go out, 10 o'clock. We'd go out 9-ish, go and have some breakfast at one of the diners nearby. It was your stereotypical US diner,
Perfect.
Just the town's really, the town we're in, Libby, is really I don't want to say it's in a bit of a time warp, but it's kind of really old school. There's that one traditional diner, then you got a bar but a lot of the bars and stuff kind of do breakfast and stuff as well. So you can go in, they've got a restaurant area sort of thing. So it's not a bar in the morning, but you can go in and have a feed.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you go in and have some fucking souped up American breakfast of just garbage and feel like shit for the rest of the day, man.
Food's really expensive over there, isn't it?
Well,
I suppose it's the tipping part.
The tipping part, yeah. Well, because I didn't have to worry too much about that, because either Cam or Shane had sort that side of the thing out, so I didn't have to be how much do I fucking do? I don't know what to. Okay. But we'd go out and have a feed in the morning, and then by 10 we were heading out into the bush. And I had these grand ideas before I went. Yeah. Knowing the way we hunt here, which I can't speak for everyone, but for most of the guys I hunt with, it's stalk. Yeah. Or a lot of walking and then spotting and then stalking. Yeah. So I was a big thing for Montana black bear is the country is so thick and steep, nothing I've ever seen before. Yeah. Okay. That they usually, and you'll see it on Meat Eater, that Steve Ranella's show. Yeah, yeah. Occasionally there's a couple of Montana black bear hunts.
I've seen a couple actually.
And they road hunt, so they walk these logging roads, right? And they wind their way up these big mountains everywhere. Yeah. It's super, super steep mountain country there. And I was no, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm gonna get off the roads and hunt like I hunt here. And me and Cam had done some e-scouting prior on one. He had an account with one of these really good GPS satellite map, and it showed you the contours and stuff. So we'd sat down for a while and gone, okay, well, here's this road here. This is where we'll camp. If we go out and camp a couple of nights, we'll take a caravan out there, which is a luxury. Fuck. Because they had a caravan sitting there, so we did that for a few nights. But the country, me and my idea of I'm going to hunt this way, I got over there and I was like, oh, you can't. Like you can, but it's so thick and so steep that the chance that you're going to get a shot in there just isn't like realistic in most places. There's a few spots where you can get off and go and have a look, or head to like a water source that you can kind of look over or whatever. But the bears tend to, the reason a lot of them do this road hunting style, like I say road hunting, it's not a road, it's like an old logging, it's logging tracks up into the mountains. And they explain it well on Meat Eater, but when they like go through and do this, they plant a different type of grass. I think it helps with the stability on the edges of the roads and stuff. Righto. And the bears love it. It's real lush green grass. So it's not unlikely to walk these roads, and as you come around a corner, they'll be feeding. Yeah, okay. And you get a look at them there. When they're in like a lot of that country, you just can't see them. And it took, what was it, second day maybe, or third day, we finally got a look at one, a young one. Okay. So, but we'd gone to a spot. It was me, Cam, and his old man. We went to this spot, and we went back to it a couple of times. Really, really nice country, and a good spot where we could sit up on this hill and glass, like, it's like a valley there and like another one over here and then like a mountainside there. You got a really good look at, but we're talking like the furthest you were looking was probably close to a kilometre. Yeah. So you'd have to kind of figure out how you were going to get a shot if they were that far away. But we did like a bit of a range session.
And when you say like, are you looking at the road for that far, or are you looking at just
You're looking at everything, because you can kind of see into the bush that way, whereas like when you're walking and you're level with the ground,
it's hard to
it's like, honestly, man, some of it's like this. Yeah. It is so steep. I've like never driving up these tracks. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, holy fuck, Jesus Christ, man! Like if you like get this wrong, you're not stopping. Like, I mean, the trees will stop you eventually, but it is so steep, and the timing is it's a spring hunt. So as you get higher up, there's quite a bit of snow. Yep. Depending on the time of the year, and we got a shitty season when we went. The snow was still in some places, but not as much as what they would usually get that time. Which the downside of that was all the trees had started filling out again. So the green, all these like green trees are filled out. Can't really see. You can't see. Usually you'd be able to see a little bit more. So you couldn't really see as much this year, which was a bit of a downer. But so we got to look at this one that was probably like, I don't know, 800 or 900 yards away. So Yanks, we're talking yards. We'd had a range sort of session with a couple of the rifles. Cam had a 300 PRC, which we had set up that was good to, if you really wanted to, 600 yards-ish. But we dialed it pretty well at 500 at the range, but he had like adjustable scope, so you can dial in your distances and stuff with your ballistics and whatever else. So we'd had a pretty good session with that. At 500, got really confident that was, and he, had bipods and everything, so you could get a really steady shot. And then I had a 30-06 that I was carrying, which was just more like ready to shoot sort of thing. And Cam would just carry the PRC, which you could use anyway, but we really had that set up for those long shots, because you do have to take longer shots there because you're shooting across these gullies, and if you spot a bear at 500, 600 across on a road, if you can get a good sizing on him, you can take a shot. So this first one we saw was too far to shoot, and he was only young anyway, like small, 3 feet.
Is there like, what's the go with the law? Like, can you just shoot anything you see?
Yeah,
so shoot one, or?
I should be able to tell you all this because I had to do like the course before that's like another aspect, I guess. Firearms wise, I had to do the Montana Hunter Safety course, which I did online. Didn't even matter if I had a firearms license here. You just have to do the course, and then I think over 18 you just do the online course. You don't have to do an in-person one. So I had to do that, and the hunter safety and the firearms sort of course. And then when we get over there, all I had to do was buy an out-of-state tag. Yeah. So Cam's tag cost him $25, I think, or $40 or whatever it was. Mine cost me $600. But they do that, like, obviously out-of-state people can come and hunt. And I mean, like, say, the Utah guys would have had to pay the same as me. Okay. But the Montana locals get the $25, $40, whatever it was. Yeah. So that side was all pretty easy. And then when it comes to, like, what you can shoot, anything pretty much.
Okay.
But not a sow with cubs.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of make sure she's not towing a couple with it, because that time of year they've got little fellas with them.
Yeah.
Which we were really hoping to get a look at a couple, but
just
never happened. We knew in one area that there was a sow with cubs, because we'd found one of the things you're really looking for is shit.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell the size of the bear from the shit. And we were finding piles with like little piles, so there was obviously cubs with it.
Yeah.
One thing I found over there, compared to here, so much shit that can kill you.
Yeah.
It's like the hunting side of things I found was like the anticipation side and the adrenaline is like way higher all the time. Like over here, it's like, oh, I don't want to tread on a snake.
Yeah.
But, you know, fucking what's the chances?
Well, B.
But yeah. But over there, it's like, obviously the black bears aren't really a problem. Unless you startle a sow with cubs.
Yeah.
Then they might get a little bit upset. Grizzlies are an issue because it's big grizzly country there. There's plenty of them. Mountain lions.
Those things are gangster.
They scare the shit out of me. But the grizzlies didn't concern me. I mean, it's in the back of your head.
Yeah.
And we were always carrying a pistol as well.
Yeah.
But some of the old timers we were hunting with, like the Utah boys, they don't even carry pistols, nothing. Like, they're going to get me, they're going to get me. Like, they've just been doing it so long that they're just... One of them was he used to have hounds that they'd go and tree mountain lions, and he would just tree them to let the dogs have a run and get a couple of photos and leave. Never even carry a gun. Nothing. I'm like, dude, you're fucking mad.
Yeah.
He's just the most chill old dude, like, really cool guys. So, yeah, predator-wise, heaps of shit wants to kill you. Probably doesn't want to, but can.
Yeah, could.
So the mountain lions scared the shit out of me. Grizzlies didn't faze me so much. There's wolves in the area too, but they're not as big of a concern. That would be cool. Yeah. They're not as big of a concern. Not as many of them, I don't think. You could get a wolf tag.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. What else? Moose.
Oh, yeah.
Moose are a problem, like female moose.
Yeah, okay.
If they've got calves, like, I'm pretty sure number-wise, there's quite a lot of deaths from moose attacks. Yeah. So 2 other guys we hunted with, Cam's cousins, they come over and spent a couple of days with us. One of them and one of Cam's mates that also come in and spent a couple of days hunting with us, they were hunting together a while ago and told me a story about they could hear like something coming through the thick stuff. And Cam's cousin Caleb was like, I said to Josh, his other mate, he's like, you stand your ground, like don't run, just have your rifle ready. He's like, we weren't carrying sidearms at the time, we just had the rifles, which is like, when they're close, you're like trying to get a sight picture. So he was like, stand your ground, like whatever comes out. They didn't know that what it was going to be yet. Could have been a bear, could have been anything. Yeah. So Caleb's like, I'm standing there ready. And out this thing comes, and I look, and Josh isn't there anymore. He's hightailed it. He's like, fuck this. So in the end, it was just a false charge from a female moose. Yeah, so she must have had a calf in there, and she come out at him. He's like, and I'm like, don't keep coming. Like, I don't want to have to shoot. And she sort of got within whatever and stopped and turned. But he's like, it's like that. It's scary because they're fucking huge. Yeah, they're huge.
You see, I've seen photos and videos of them and stuff. Like when you see them when they're crossing the road compared to cars.
Oh man. It is crazy.
A bloke who I hunted with up north on the property I was talking about before, Matty, he went over to America. He shot a mule deer. He shot a few bits and pieces, and he was out hunting bears. Mm-hmm. They weren't staying in caravans or anything like that. They had a tent. I think he had a guide, and there was like the outfitters at a certain spot. There was, I think it was 4 or 5 of them that went over, and they all went off doing their own things. They went out and stayed in a tent for a few nights to like try and hunt bears and whatnot. Yeah. And he said he barely slept a wink. He said this tent, it was literally had like 2 stretchers in it, one on either side. He was in one, the guy was in the other, and 300 Win Mag. Yeah. One in the barrel, ready to go. Yeah. And he said he was laying there and like any little noise is just like, what's like, it's coming.
The US dudes, they're just so used to it. Yeah. It doesn't really faze them. Like Cam's cousins, one of them slept in a tent. When we had the caravan out, which again, luxury. Yeah. We actually spoke about next time we go, we want to go deeper. Yeah. And go in and camp like tents. Yeah. Just get into some more untouched stuff because a lot of the stuff we were hunting pretty popular sort of area. Yeah. But one of his cousins was just sleeping under a tarp.
Yeah, wow.
Just out where the caravan was. And we found bear shit like 60 yards from the caravan. And he was just like, I'm like, isn't this like, he's like,
I suppose though,
don't worry you.
I don't know, it's somewhat similar. Like, I mean, yeah, there's the risk that they can kill you, but it's sort of somewhat similar to what we're talking about at the start. Hey, your old man was like, sit on this log, don't move. Yeah. You didn't know that, it was going to be all right and all that. It takes a while. But having said that, there isn't fucking bears out there.
I mean, yeah, there's every chance, but these guys are so used to it. And we obviously had plenty of encounters with them that are non-threatening, that it's like, that doesn't seem to faze them as much. And one of them was a big mountain lion hunter, like he'd done a lot of that.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of photos of like big cats, man. Have you ever seen how big they are?
Yeah.
Like
they'd be bigger than our
taller,
they'd be bigger than our fallow, wouldn't they? Our deer.
Height-wise, probably not, but length-wise, yeah. They're huge. Like you stand them.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll see them like hold them under the arms and they're touching the ground. Yeah. They're terrifying. So we'd seen a few cat tracks and a couple of wolf tracks and, so they were in the area. It was something to always think about. But so that first one, too far away. That afternoon, the weather turned hardcore. Like it was a beautiful day, like sunburn day.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were up on this mountain, like fairly well
elevated. You being
elevated.
a ginger, though,
man.
that's...
We're sitting there like, no sunscreen because we're not really expecting it to be warm. So we get up there and it's fucking warm and the sun's out and it was magic, man. It was such a nice day. And we sat there for probably, we would have been up there for 4 or 5 hours, glassing the whole time. We'd seen like a few whitetail and a bit of this, bit of that. And that bear we saw pretty late, but it was getting cold, cold, man. And we were up there in like light trousers and we had coats and stuff, but no like underlayers and shit because we didn't expect it to be fucking freezing. So we're up there like, because we're sitting, you're not doing anything, you're just sitting there. And I'm like, fuck, man, it's getting like real proper cold. Like I'm getting like cold to the bone cold. And Cam's old man had a t-shirt and a jacket and a pair of jeans, so he must have been fucking freezing, man. And he's like, no, I'm all good. And like, I think he was like toughing it out too because he wanted us to stay up and keep hunting. Because it was like where we kind of parked at the trailhead. We walked in, I don't know, 10 minutes or something to the spot. And when we came down off the mountain, it was snowing down off the mountain.
Really?
So it was like imagine how fucking cold it was up there. It wasn't snowing where we were. It must have just sort of gone round us. But when we got down, like on the highway back, it was snowing. And we were like, no fucking wonder it was cold up there, man. It was freezing. So needless to say, the next few times we went to like those sort of spots, we like extra jacket, extra this. But that one, too small, awesome to see. Just to like the first experience of seeing, I'd seen a glimpse of one when I went over when I was 16.
Yeah.
But never like a good look. Yeah. This one we could sit and watch him for a good 20 minutes, like, and as it was getting dark. Walking out in the dark was a little bit fucking sketchy too. I'm like, kind of looking around everywhere, like, but we continued to like, I guess, do that kind of thing. We had a bad rain day, which we just went to the range and fucked around, shot the pistols, and just had a bit of fun. Went and bought a couple of boxes of ammo and just shooting for fun. Yeah. And then the other days, fairly uneventful. We had some really good sign in one spot that we went up to. Actually, I've got a photo. Actually, have you seen you might have seen it on my Facebook or Instagram of me standing on top of this mountain. There's an American flag stuck in the ground.
I don't think
been up there for a long time, and I'm standing there with a 32-ounce Miller draft can and a 1911 pistol in the other hand.
Yeah, wicked.
So it's like a cool spot. It was like up at a communications tower.
Yeah.
So we just drove up to like the lookout, and it's magic spot. Took a couple of photos, bit of fun, like we were just driving, but we hunted that area that night just briefly, and then we went back there and we're seeing some good sign in there. And I think it was in that spot I'd heard something grunt, which I was like not sure, but pretty sure it was a bear, like where they kind of woof.
Yeah,
they make this funny noise, like, and then turned and ran. So I never got to see. But it was only like 20 yards off me in the thick stuff. I never got to see, but so we're like, oh, this is a pretty good area. There's stuff in here. It's just a matter of being there at the right time or rounding the corner at the right time. Other than that, we only saw 2 bears. Yep. Shitty year, like I said. All the other boys only saw a couple. There weren't really many shot that year. We went and saw John Hayes, the taxidermist. He's been on Meat Eater a couple of times.
Yeah, okay.
And he'd even said, like, it's been pretty slow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if it picks up a bit, but it's been pretty slow. Then must have been the last couple of days. We were driving back out to a spot we'd spent a little bit of time at, and we'd come at the road kind of worked its way up a creek.
Yep.
So we're driving up there, and then right in front of us, he just come up out of the creek bed. This black bear's come up and just was on the road, and we stopped the car and turned it off, and we're just like glassing him, looking. And I'm like, fuck, like this is real. He's like 150 yards off maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is
Shooting range,
getting real now. Like that's a reasonable, and I'm struggling to be able to size them because I haven't really seen them. But I'm looking at him and looking at the road width, and a big black bear is going to like take up a fair bit of it.
Yeah.
This one was kind of like halfway, you know, like he's kind of beautiful coat. And Cam's got this all on video because he pulled the camera out and is filming it. And before he pulled the camera out, he looks at me and he's like, it's up to you. If you want him, shoot him. Like, it's right there. If you want him, take him. And I'm like sitting there with the rifle on the seat. And it was almost all too easy as well, because we drove up on him and we're just right place at the right time. And I'm sitting there looking and I'm like, do I do it? Like, it's that same thing. Like, this goes back to that what you were saying about am I just shooting for the sake of it?
Yeah.
And I'm just in my head like, do I take the shot and kill my first black bear?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I came here for. This is what I flew 14 fucking hours to come and do.
Hungover,
yeah. Do I take it? And I'm like, and he's just moseying. He's got no idea we're there because the creek noise and the wind was enough for him to not hear us coming. So we stopped, and then he kind of turned and looked towards us, and he kind of looked back again, and I was like, I looked over at Cam and I was like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not big enough. Like, he probably, if you were lucky, because they measure him like tail to nose.
Okay.
Yeah. So when someone says they shot a 6 foot black bear,
yeah,
he's 6 foot from tail to nose standing up.
Far out, man. That's massive.
Not 6 foot from his feet standing up. So he's probably standing like closer to 8. You know, like big animal. So this thing was probably 3.5, maybe 4 if you're really lucky.
Yeah.
And like,
so sort of like a 5-6 foot bear standing up.
Yeah, like our kind of height standing up sort of thing. And I'm like, it's just not big enough. I'm going to let him go. And Shane looked at me and he was like, yeah, I think he's about 3 foot, 3.5 maybe. Cam was like, it's up to you. Shoot him if you want him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, we're going to let him go. And then I was like, I'm going to get out though and walk up, because he was kind of heading to right next to where he come up was just like this shaly rock bank like this. Like no shit, like steep and all loose rock.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to walk up and have a look. And he just started going up. So I'm like slowly walking up, took the rifle just in case I had a change of heart. Yeah. But I got up a little bit and he kind of bolted and made it look like he was running on the flat.
Yeah,
like
really.
Up this shaly rock, man. He just like straight up, just bound up this hill, stopped in the trees. And I was like, all right, I'll just walk up to where he went in. And I got up there and I look up the bank, like, and see where he went in. I could just see his head, like, poking out the trees.
Having a look at you.
Straight at me.
Yeah,
and then he just turned around and just didn't go, like, fast. I think he just turned and just gone.
Unreal.
Straight up into the bush. Like, and that was the close, like, I could have.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have, but in the end, it was like, it was, the experience was unreal.
Yeah.
The cost for me to bring it back.
That was going to be my next question. Are we even allowed to have them?
Yeah. So the easiest way, when I spoke to John Hayes, he was like, if you guys shoot one, because I said to him, oh, can I bring it into you? And I want to skin it, but I don't want to fuck it up. Like, I really want to be involved in the skinning of it, but I don't want to wreck anything because I wanted to do it into a rug. Yeah.
Like with the standard mouth open type of thing.
Well, you could go mouth open, but it's heaps more expensive. So I probably would have just gone mouth shut and just had it as a tanned rug. But he was like, the easiest thing for you to do, yes, bring it in. I'll help you skin it out, whatever else. And then he said, the best way for you to get it back home is leave it with us. We'll tan it. Good excuse to come back next year. Yeah. Hunt again and take it with you then. So once it's tanned and it's all been treated, It's super easy. You just put it in your suitcase.
That's like
and take it with you.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff,
heavy suitcase, but
a lot of the stuff is like that. I think it's if it's on that CITES lifts or whatnot. But yeah, it's
way less paperwork if you do it that way. Like he said, we can tan it and send it to you.
Yeah.
But there's like a shitload of paperwork for us to do that. He's like, if you come and get it and put it in your suitcase, declare it, and then they go, okay, it's tanned, go, done.
What was the sort of cost to get it, tanned?
So through Hayes, I think it was like $3.5, $4,000.
Our money?
Their money.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure. So fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So that whole trip cost me, I mean, it was lucky the way we did it, but it probably only cost me $5 or $6,000.
That's unreal.
Which is wild to go somewhere like that and hunt,
man.
you know what I mean? And $600 of that US was the tag.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it was 600 Oz, so it was about $350 US.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cost for me to get it back home was like going to cost me the same as it cost me to fucking go there.
Yeah, and again, then you could, put away a bit more money. You can go not much more than that money, and you can have another go at it.
Go again, yeah. So it was, it just come down to he's not quite big enough for me to justify the money.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of money.
And I mean, the money's sure you can get it again.
Yeah.
But it was more like, I don't know, it just felt wrong, like we were saying, to shoot for the sake of I'm over here, I'm going to shoot it. It just didn't sit right, and I was like, I'm not actually happy with the size of that bear, so I'm going to leave it.
Only you know that, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm sure you could have shot that dude, like a lot of people, myself being one of them.
Dude, he stood broadside on for like a minute.
Like if I had seen it and a lot of other people had seen it, could have been like, that's amazing. Like that's so cool. Yeah. There wouldn't be many people that go, that's fucking you've only got to answer to yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The fact of the matter was, in the end, and I posted about it at the time, we saw a bear, could have shot it.
I think I remember reading that.
The experience, it's just not. That's not all of hunting. Killing's not the whole thing, man. It's like, for sure. It's just not everything.
Yeah.
You know?
So the SIRE, what was your favourite part about being over there? I think you and I spoke about it. It's just there.
Dude, there's so many things to
just freedom.
Oh yeah, just freedom, man. Yeah, it's just like it's hard because those guys come over here and they're like, I can't believe how beautiful this place is.
Yeah, nothing's perfect, is it?
And I was over there and on top of Blue Mountain, which is where the communications tower thing was.
Yeah.
That's the first place we went to when we got there to go up and have a look.
Okay.
And we went up again and took some photos and whatever. But that's like the first spot. And when I got up there and looked around, I was just like, there is nothing like this.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this. It is as far as your eye can see, it's just mountains.
Yeah.
Just we're looking at the Rockies. It is magic, man. I cannot describe to you in words the feeling of the place just has this, I guess it's the aura of the place. It's just, it feels like freedom, man. It's so wild. The whole place is so wild. Everything about it is wild. The ground itself and the country you're in, it's steep and it's unforgiving and the animals are wild and dangerous, and it's it's just so exhilarating. It is just...
Do you think that'd wear off though? If you were to move over?
I don't know, man. Would it? I don't know, because there's times here where I'll walk up to somewhere, and I've been there 50 times before, 100 times before, and I'll look out and I'm like, there's nothing better. Yeah. It's the same thing, it's nothing better. Yeah. But maybe there is, but you look and you're just like, how lucky are we?
We're just, man, we're supposed to travel, eh? We're supposed to get around and see so much
I've never wanted to. Yeah. I don't have a traveling bone in my body. I've never had this draw to go and discover other places. I'm content with what's around me for the most part till I got to Montana. Yeah. But I'm happy where I am. I like a quiet life.
Yeah.
Close to the bush.
You can still have that in travel. I think what you're saying resonates with me. I agree with what you're saying in the sense that, a lot of people particularly like younger females seem to like, I'm going to Europe, I'm going, like all that sort of shit. I'm the same. Zero interest in that stuff. All the places that people are lining up to get photos in a particular spot and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but it doesn't really interest me. Yeah. I'd much rather go to some of those places and then go to some small village and go, what do you got?
Yeah.
You know, that, in that sense, I think it'd be, so much. But we went to Vietnam. I was 16 maybe. Yeah, parents took me over to Vietnam, and they do a lot of aid work over there, sponsor villages and build schools and whatnot. So we briefly did like the touristy type of stuff, and then was like thick in, like we were so far in to this like places that people like us had never been. Mm-hmm. I've got it on video somewhere. When I got first like camcorder, we went there and there was like it was like a show, like not a circus, but like a show sort of thing. They were setting up, and we stayed with these people who had this coffee shop. Coffee shop was downstairs and we stayed upstairs. Anyway, that evening we're going out and we're walking around this show sort of thing, and everyone's like staring and stuff. And I was like, I mean, I got like tall quick and then sort of stopped. Yeah. And like walking around, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. And they said they were like, some of these people would have never seen anyone like you. Yeah. And I was like, that is just so hard for me to fathom. Yeah. Like I'm nothing. I'm an average.
And I think there's a lot of people in Tassie who haven't seen anybody like you.
No, but like, I mean, for the most part, I'm just an average size white dude.
Yeah, you're not like big or huge.
Nah, and these guys were just like blowing chunks. And places like that interest me. Yeah. Like it's.
I think the untouched or untouched by Western. Yeah. That is somewhat appealing, and I think the thing with, even though the places we were in Libby, like the areas we hunted, for me, obviously never been there, was a different thing to like Cam, who spent his whole life there. But there's something about like the vastness when you look out on those mountains, it has like this frontier feeling. Like, do you know like the movie The Revenant?
Oh, dude, I know the movie.
Dude, it is. It's like, because that, like the things I would do to be able to go back to that time and experience that life. Yeah. Like, I mean, I know you're like dead when you're 32 and because you're old, but like that period of time, can you just imagine like going to this place where no one's been before?
It's I get I get a bit caught up. I think it'd be the same. And admittedly, we're probably our own worst. Like, there's literally nothing stopping us from somewhat doing that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'll get that. I might fall in a. Like, I'll catch myself. The kids might be in bed or something. I'll write back to someone on social media or something, and I'll do that, and then I'll get that done, and then next minute I'm like, I'm in it, and I don't even realise. Yeah. And then I stop, and then I get down on myself, and I think the same thing. I'm like, fuck, like, they didn't have this shit back then. At the end of the day, it's our choice, but it's hard to live without that stuff. But I think the same, man. This was like the high country. It's a photo I took up there. That's cool. Which is like, it's... I'll have to put that up. That's not going to work. I don't even know why I tried to do that.
It's kind of funny because that's a similar look.
Yeah.
But it's the magnitude is not. I'll find a photo for you. The magnitude is not quite.
We went to some places. So the first time I went up there, while you look for that, the first time I went up there, it was, you see stuff like that. That's not the exact photo I was looking for, but you see stuff like that, and it's just like, oh my gosh, that took my breath away. Yeah. This last time that we went, Pete took me to this other spot that was like, we were so high up, man, so high up. And I got that feeling, like we were on the edge of a cliff and we were just glassing, and I'm zooming in and out, and we got the binos and all this stuff. And I was just like, I am tiny. Like, me as a person, all of this, and this is such a tiny part of the world, let alone where I am right now. Yeah. And it was just massive. And we're looking at these deer that had no idea we were there. Like, but I quite often think about that if I go like hunting or walking in like parts of the bush, and I know that it wouldn't be like untouched sort of thing, but it's like it would have been, no one's been there for a long time. This isn't a good representation of what I was telling you, but that's the photo I was telling you. I'll have to get you to send it to me. I'll put it up on the thing.
I've got a couple here of like a good view of the sort of the country we were in.
Even so, man, you're right. Like, because I've got that many photos on my phone, it just doesn't do it. Like it doesn't do it just. You can't grasp the sort of just how vast places are.
I'll get it up for you afterwards. But one of the other cool experiences I guess I had there. Well, there's a few. So one thing that blew me out was obviously coming from our firearms laws is being over there, right? And it's like, so we we would go to this same coffee shop every morning if we weren't going out to have breakfast. We'd go into this like drive-through little coffee place. It had like these good little burrito, like breakfast burritos, like Mexican breakfast burrito and whatever. So we'd get a couple of burritos each and a coffee, and then we'd head out. But we'd pull up at this coffee place, and sitting next to me, beside, like in between the console and the seat, is the 3006 loaded.
Yep.
There's not one up the spout. You can't have one up the spout while you're driving around, but you can have it with ammo in it.
Yeah.
So that's there. Cam's got one next to him. There's another one on the back seat.
Yeah.
So that was the PRC. So we had that for the long range stuff.
Yeah.
And a pistol each. And we're driving around town with them all just out. Because Montana is an open carry state. So if you're a resident, I guess, or of age, I'm not sure the exact, but you can open carry a firearm. As long as it's visible. You can't like conceal carry without a permit, but you can open carry. You can just carry one around. Like Shane was telling me they had this dude roll through town once with he was on his horse, like full Western kit with 2 6-shooters hanging off his hips. Like, and I was just like, hey, how you going, man? Like, what's going on? So we'd like pull up at the coffee shop, and these are totally visible. And they're like, good morning. Everyone's like, there's no like, oh shit, that guy's got guns.
Yeah.
It's just so standard. I didn't see any road rage there, by the way.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't. Like,
because everyone's like, that guy's probably packing. Like,
risk
it was
shot.
like, it was kind of like a funny, I think that scares people, the firearm culture in America. I never felt unsafe.
No.
In the towns or anything like that, because it's kind of like everyone's kind of got one, so everyone kind of behaves a bit for the most part. Like because let's be fair, 99% of people they're pretty cool, pretty standard. Like,
it's very similar when I had Greeley on here and we're talking about him being in jail, and not that there's firearms in jail, thank goodness, but he was saying
that we know of.
Yeah, but I was talking about like violence and stuff, and he said that there's not that much violence because there's access to violence in the sense that everyone's in line. You know the society's rules and stuff. And you don't fuck up. And I don't know, maybe that's somewhat similar like with the firearms.
Well, it kind of is, man. And like we can talk about this shortly, I guess, but I've found the same thing in like martial arts training and stuff. The people that have the knowledge and the ability are generally not the ones that are causing any trouble. That
goes for a lot of things in life, doesn't it?
I mean, and it's a very similar concept to like you don't, because you know the consequences probably also, you kind of just behave. Yeah. It's the same thing. If everyone knows that everyone's got the ability to shoot them, then everyone kind of behaves a little bit. So going back to the America thing, I'll give you one last little story on that. We can move on or whatever you want to do. You just chill. We've been going at it, but we went to this spot, which I will send you a photo of, and it was like we were on this like bank, as a little creek. We were sitting up on it, glassing out into this open marsh that had kind of like, there was a fallen tree and a tree line behind it and like a little ridge, and then out was like open marsh sort of area. And we were glassing that, and it was like, there's got to be bears in here. Like, there has to be. It was a little close to the roads, but it was like, there's got to be bears in here. It's a perfect scenario.
If you were a bear, that's where you'd be.
100%. Water, feed, everything. At cover, heaps of cover. Like, we're like, this it has to be. Yeah. Has to be. Anyway, we're sitting there, and I'm like, I want to see further in around the corner because there's more open down around, like there's the tree line kind of went around here. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to go, Cam, I'm going to get over this creek. I'm going to go and sit over where that fallen tree is and tuck up into the bank there, and I'll be able to see right down the marsh. He's like, yeah, good idea, go do that. So I grab the rifle and head over there, and I get over, and I'm like, I tuck myself up into like where this dead tree is like on my left-hand side, and I'm kind of like sitting against it. And I can see Cam up on the bank over here, and then there's the bush line right behind me. Yeah. And I'm sitting there for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, it's a good spot. Like, I can see way down the marsh. I get this is a really good spot. I'm tucked up in here nice. I got a log here I can rest on if I need to take a shot. Yeah. And then I kind of look to my right, and I stopped for a bit, and I was like, that's a game trail. Like right there. Yeah. Coming out of the thick bush behind me. Pretty well used, like. And then I start like worst case scenarioing in my head, and I'm like, I'm sitting tucked in where anything would come out.
You're in a kill box.
They'd come out of that game trail, and I'm stuck here, and I'm gonna scare them because they're not going to know I'm there. I'm like tucked in just enough that if I move or make a noise or they smell me, they're going to be startled. So I'm like starting to get a little bit like, I don't know if this is a good spot to be seen. Like, it's a great spot, but that's like a bit of a risk. And I'm like, you're just being a dickhead. It's all good. You're just like, just relax. It's not a problem. It's all good. And eventually it got the better of me. Yeah. And I'm like, so I pulled Cam's got a 1911, not like an original 1911, but like a replica 45. Yeah. And I had that, which is not an ideal bear gun, but
it's better than no gun.
Well, his dad he's got a 44 mag revolver, but we were having trouble with it at the range of misfire on one of the cylinders. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not carrying that if I have to pull it out and it goes click, like that's a problem. So I had Cam's, and this is like Cam's little baby. This thing. Yeah. He had he also had a 10 mil semi-automatic that he carried, which is an excellent bear gun. Yeah. So I had the 45, knowing that one, I could shoot really well with it. It was really comfortable, really easy to shoot with because there's a lot of weight in it. Like, not like his 10 mils, like the polymer, sort of really light. And a 10 mil has some bang. Like shooting out of it was pretty hectic. But the 45, I had it sitting like in the holster. I'm like, I can't have it in there sitting here. Like it was in my. Like, that's what I mean. Like the adrenaline and that extra anxiety in the bush there is different. So I pulled this 45 out, racked one, and sat it on the ground in front of me. I was just like, I'm just freaking out a little bit here. Yeah. But so that was a cool, almost like a reality check of where you were. For and sure. What you were kind of dealing with.
That's the thing. I mean, as you said, that's the thing. Down here, I suppose in a nutshell, we walk around, we either sit down or we walk around the bush and we try and kill things. And that's it.
There's really nothing trying to kill us.
Nope. But
the snakes aren't going to either.
Nah, not actively hunt you out.
Like I was following one the other day, a copperhead up. I was up in Bothwell the other day working and I had a copperhead come out and I'm like following it from like me to the couch away, just filming it. Like, that's fucking cool, isn't it? Yeah. There's nothing to wait, but those guys are kind of like that with the big game over there. They're just like, whatever, like, don't upset it. It won't.
Even my sister, because her and her husband moved back. They were in America for 10 years, or he was from there. She moved over there, and they only just moved back a couple of years ago now. But I'd FaceTime when she's over there, and she'd have like a little 38 that she'd take when she was going on runs and bushwalks. It's just like mind blowing to me, sort of thing. Like,
dude, that's my dream.
It'd be cool, but that's the thing. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know what you hear stories and stuff. I suppose you hear what they want to hear about what it's like over there, and I don't know what it'd be like getting work. And don't know. I've never been.
I would in a heartbeat live there. It's just a bit tough to get in, and stay there without like some. You kind of got to be somewhat specialised in a field, or they just don't accept people in. Which, look, man, if I was American, I'd be fucking stoked with that. Yeah. They don't just like, come on in, boys. Yeah. Like they don't.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, you could go for a bit like 12 months or something, couldn't you?
Don't know. I think 3 months is a visitor's thing. They don't do like a work visa.
Oh, right.
They don't do like a come in and pick cherries thing.
Yeah, okay.
So you've got to. I looked it up a bit, and from what I could find, I think Australia has like a specialty visa
with America,
so you can go there and work for 2 years if you have a bachelor's degree or equivalent.
Right. Okay. Can you get a bachelor's degree of truck driving?
Man, I wish you could. And like even because I thought like maybe in the earthwork side of things, because that's what I did
like
before the trucks. Like I was driving excavators from 17, 18 up until not all that long ago. And I was like, maybe I could go that side of things, then I like started looking into it a bit more. And you get onto like a Reddit forum or something, and people were talking about it, and they're like, anything in that sense is a bit tough, and like construction's tough because all the Mexicans do all the construction stuff. Like they're a lot of the blue collar workforce.
Yeah, but I assume you'd be going in it not as it's some sort of like role, like you'd be aiming for some sort of management type of thing.
You'd almost have to, I guess. Yeah. Can we take a break for a second?
Yeah, of course you can, bro. Cool. I will. No, it hasn't. No, I've nutted it out, so I just had to hit pause again. I have had that
before.
Oh, really?
I lost the whole,
What, podcast thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I get paranoid of, and you'll see at the end of it.
When it comes to like the processing side of it all.
No. Literally, like once this is finished, because usually, and then people are like, oh, that was good. They want to talk, and I'm just like, I've got to save it. I've got to like.
It's starting to get a freak out going on.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. But yeah. So back to America. So and moving there. I've never been. My sister, she got married over there.
Yeah.
All of my family went. I'm not in the right fucking spot. I need to move over a bit. God, I need. Anyway, all of my family went over there. First
time, is it?
Just be gentle with it. It's these seats, man. They're hard on my ass. But all of my family went over, and I stayed back and looked after the farm. But I feel like Mum was convincing me because I been done 4 times for drink driving, and the 4th time was whilst I was qualified for drink driving.
I think they frown upon that. I don't think they let you in. Yeah.
Right. Well, I have been. So that's what my mum told me.
I've heard of people being rejected a visa because of it.
So
for drink driving of all things.
My mum told me that, and I was thinking, He's
making shit up.
Well, someone had to feed the cows and all that sort of stuff, and I was
just trying to get me to stay home.
Literally, dude. But dude, I never said anything to her or anyone else, but I sort of feel like I need to apologise because I was thinking like, whatever, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think like obviously like violent stuff. They will.
I've never.
Give you a visa,
it's literally
But drink driving, I've heard, can be problematic getting in.
Yeah,
I don't know that for a fact, but I haven't been done, and I got in. So.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. But anyway, so I've never been. But
cool place, man. It really is because there's a bit of everything because there's so many places to go
and so many different.
Yeah.
I suppose different things. When I first started like all of this journey and. When how we were talking before, I first started selling merchandise and stuff. And I got a couple of photos. This bloke over in America, he had, I think it was a Mini Cooper or something like that. And he sent me photos of my letter sticker on the side of this Mini going over the San Francisco Bridge.
Oh, the Golden Gate.
Golden Gate Bridge. And I was like, this is so cool. And then another bloke from America, he had a...
Did he have like Alcatraz in the background or something?
No. He was snowboarding. And he was in like a green, same colour as that lettuce, like a full green like snowboarding kit. And it had one of my lettuce shirts underneath.
That's so good.
And he's just standing there on the side of this mountain, just like Superman, man, just holding it over.
That's good.
Yeah, I've got some like cool stuff. It's a blowout to think how many people
it's reached over the time. Because how long have you been the Lord?
Well, so I think it'd be 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah. See, because we've got some mutual friends, which is how I got to meet you.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when it all kind of first started, it became like this huge thing. Because it was actually funny you're mentioning when I caught up with you on the boat to Victoria.
Yeah.
I was at the like check-in where they check your car for like contraband and shit.
Yeah.
And I could hear one of the security dudes. He's like, he's like, yeah, check it out. That was, Lord of the Lettuce. You heard of Lord of the Lettuce? Yeah. And I'm like, I wonder if Garrick's on it. and then he's like saying to his mate, he's like, look him up later. You'll see. Yeah. Yeah, he's funny as. And then I messaged him. I'm like, you're on the fucking boat, are you? Yeah. You're like, yeah, man.
That was a blowout. It's weird. I remember when it first started. Like it was weird. It took me so long to get my head around, and now it's sort of I think because the hype's died down now. You know, when it first started, people but now it's just I'm nowhere near as
active.
That and like hyperactive, I suppose.
Yeah, the persona's different these days to what it was.
Yeah, it'd be 8 or 9 years, I reckon. Yeah. And the first, it was and it's gone in waves. I stopped for ages, and I was just putting stuff on Snapchat. I didn't do anything on Facebook for a long, long time, and it was only when I got sober and I was like, no one's going to find me funny or anything, but fuck it. But
I think your personality's there anyway without the grog.
Thanks,
so
yeah, that was a hard thing for me to get a head around. I talked to people. I had a bloke getting a bit off topic here, but not that there is a topic. But I get a lot of people messaging me now asking me about alcohol and addiction and all that sort of stuff, and I think the whole lettuce thing, it was like a big blessing and a curse at the same time. Yeah. Like curse in the start, like there was another thing that was. I was almost stopping myself thinking, well, I'm going to lose that side. If I get sober, I'm not going to have that persona and stuff anymore. I'm going to lose that now. But then I just worked through that. And then on the other side of the coin, I come out and I was like, well, I'm sober now. I'm still going to do a bit. If you want to hang around, thanks, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And because I've got that big amount of people around me, I just got so many like people pumping me up, dude. Just like
interesting,
which was it in that sense made it a hell of a lot easier. Which was awesome.
It's funny too because like on the boat I was like, I'll catch up with Garrick somewhere, and we didn't end up seeing each other on the boat, but I caught up with you in the morning because you were parked like 3 cars behind us.
Yeah, that's right.
So I come down and chatted to you, but at that time I was still drinking because I haven't had a drink for 216 days or something now.
Really, man?
So
fuck yeah, bro. Congratulations, dude.
So at that time though, I was like, because that trip was awesome. So I was with Dad and 2 of his mates.
Yeah.
And that whole crew, we all like to have a beer, and especially one of the fellas loves to have a beer. So me and him, and he was the eldest.
Yeah.
I'd like to say he's late 60s. Every night we were the last 2 up, just pissed. Like, so that was
you were like, I suppose, just being mechanic or like helping out your old man.
I was just like pit crewing, So dad was racing. So it was the at Easter time they do the 6 hour at Bathurst. 6 hour or the 12 hour, it's one of them.
And he's got a hot little XU1.
And he had the little LJ, so he had that over there in the like the Group N class, which is that old style, keep them pretty original to the period. You can do a bit of engine work, but so I was just there helping and drinking, and so that was kind of I'll catch up with Garrick, and I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't drink. So then we never caught up, but that talking to you that day and like seeing how you'd been sober for X amount of time, then I was like, I could probably have a break too, eh?
Really? So that
it was in the back of my head. Well, because I listened to a couple of the previews of your couple of earlier shows on the way here, just to get a bit of an idea of like a little backstory.
Yeah.
Because obviously we know each other, friends, but like we don't ring each other every day and fucking talk to each other. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
But we could without it being.
But we could, yeah. So it's just like one of those scenarios. I don't know the full details, and like I said, I don't watch every story you put up, so I don't see like the full thing. But it definitely was like I was talking to Dad as we left, because me and Dad were in the little transit we had with the race car on the back of it, with the ramp thing that we borrowed off a mate, and the other 2 guys were in Dad's ute. So I was talking to Dad. I'm like, he hasn't drank for X amount of time. So he's like, Dad, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, fuck, it's got to be a miserable way to live, doesn't it? Like, and then I just got to a point as well where I was like, I'm doing it too often.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it at home by myself. Yeah. And I'd been doing that for quite a long time. And I didn't ever, that was probably
you're right.
Sorry.
You're right, bro.
I don't know. Now we're on a whole different topic, but for me, I guess it's, I don't even know how deep to go into this. But I would drink too much.
Yeah.
Not like get blind all the time, but I was just drinking every day.
Yeah.
And this had been going on for years and years. And it's the same story. Like, that's what I was getting at with, I listened to a couple of your previews. You're like, your apprenticeship, and then you start, and it's kind of that blue collar environment.
Before
and
you
it is.
Even realise.
It is. And my growing up, no one around me is like an alcoholic, but everyone liked to have a beer.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what we do when we hang out. We have beers. And you go through the teenage years and you're pissed everywhere and, you're just constant making a menace of yourself. And
but it's culturally, everyone is.
It's just Australia, man. It's kind of how it is, hey? But, I got to a point where I was like, I'm not doing this because it's fun anymore. Like, I'm not drinking because, like, and I would say to people, they're like, oh, do you like this beer? I'm like, doesn't matter.
Dude,
if it works, I'll drink it. And that 100% was my attitude. Other than whiskeys, like, I really, really do enjoy drinking whiskey, like good whiskey.
Yeah.
That's something I'm a fan of, and I miss it terribly. But, I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm not doing this as fun. It's almost an escape from any issues I have or any problems I'm facing. And it was way worse a few years ago, way worse, more than a few years ago. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, I don't even know if I should talk about it. I remember, because I haven't talked about this to like anybody other than like my missus. But I do remember one night, it's been a big week at work. It was Wednesday. Big week so far.
Yeah.
And the guys I was working with at the time were all pretty good drinkers, and it was a nightly thing. We used to work away a lot, and we would go to the pub after every day and have half a dozen beers there, then go back to the house we were staying at, cook dinner and have another half a dozen beers there, and then you're like, I suppose I should go to bed.
Yeah.
And it was just a daily occurrence. You're drinking fucking just too much, man. And like I said, I wasn't obliterating myself every day and, like having to drink to not get the shakes or anything like that, but it was just a constant thing. And I got to the worst, and it's a real memory, but the worst, like the low point, I guess, at that period of time. This was quite a while ago, but I remember waking up one morning to go to work, still in my work boots, the whole deal. It's like waking up on a Thursday morning, like fully dressed, ready for work. The lights are all still on.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man, you gotta get your shit together. Like, this isn't good for you.
Yeah.
And I kind of like slowly stopped myself doing stupid shit like that. And that, like, I was at home by myself. That's a problem. You can't. Yeah. You shouldn't be doing that sort of shit.
That's where I sort of. I was always like.
That wasn't a regular thing.
No.
But it was like it happened, and it's like that was a point where I was like, "What are you doing?"
I was the same. Mine was just constantly drinking sort of thing. Like and working for myself was hard. You work for yourself. You've got a truck, so even though you work for yourself, a lot of the time, I suppose it'd be fair to say that other people determine your start and finish time. Would be
a lot of the time.
A lot of the time,
like there's jobs you can go to and be like, I won't be there till. But a lot of the time, like, especially if you're doing quarry work or anything, you've got to be there at X time and whatever else.
I work for myself. I was doing my own jobs, so it didn't help. Oh, like you go to work. Oh, fuck, it's rained. It's 3:00. Oh, we'll go to the pub early, and then it doesn't take long. Oh, it's 12:00. Oh, we'll go to the pub early. And then it's like 10:00, and then it's like it might rain. 2 days from now.
It looks like it's going to be wet the rest of the week, boys.
So we'll go to the pub, but it's such an easy thing to accidentally fall into.
But that's 100% right.
And the other thing as well is because, alcohol affects everyone differently, but, if we were having a beer now sort of thing, it might be earlier than normal, say, or whatever. We have a beer and then we go our separate ways. So, and then what I do and then what you do, like completely
totally different. Yeah.
So it's...
and I'm sure you were like me, I'd go home and keep having beers till I went to bed.
Yeah, literally, man. And, when I haven't actually talked about this, I've covered a lot of things, but going back now, like, so my memories that come up on my phone, and even like the hard copy photos and whatnot. So how I realised it, my first Christmas, I got sober, so I came out of rehab. It was March, I think, when I came out of rehab. Still spent a lot of time with myself, like recluse, figure out life, how life is and whatnot. That next Christmas that I had was the best one I've ever had, man. So I've only had like two now. It's been just over 2 years. It was amazing. Like every other year, I hadn't really put thought or feeling into anything. One of the gifts that I got all my kids, I just had this idea. I was like, fuck, I got them other stuff, but I got them all little photo albums and printed out photos of like me and the kids or the kids and whatnot and put them in and gave them to them. Cost me the less and they were the most stoked out of everything. When I was going through my phone, finding the photos, every single photo with me, I had a beer.
Yeah.
And it had never ever dawned on me. I was like, this is... Yeah.
Like you say, it sneaks up on you a little bit and it's an easy thing to accidentally become somewhat dependent.
Yeah.
And I would say for me, I wasn't like dependent chemically to it, but the habit was the biggest thing. Like it's like I got home from work, what do? I go and get a beer.
Yeah. It's and I suppose the other thing too, because it's so socially accepted, it's so easy to write it off. Like if you do go somewhere and I'm hungover or something like that, in yourself, you know it's like, oh, this is shit. But you can guarantee everyone around you, no one's going to say, do you think maybe you haven't too many? Everyone's like, oh, you'll be right. Or, geez, you soldiered on through today. So, well, that's a blow, man. I love hearing stories like that. Like how
it's funny,
positively affect people. But how you were saying, like how you said, oh, we'll catch up. You're like, fuck, what are we going to do? Like this guy does nothing. A lot of the common thing, not that I'm an expert by any means, but I get a lot of people asking my advice on how I did it and what it's been like for me, is a lot of people that I get a lot of people saying, I need to change, this is that and the other. They all say, I can't see how it's going to work. I'm not going to be able to live my life like without alcohol. And you can't say it at the time, but the biggest thing I try to get across to them is you'll figure that out later on. So it's impossible to imagine your life now drinking and then you just take away alcohol. It wouldn't work. Everything changes, and it's not like you set out to change or anything like that, but it just sort of naturally evolves as it does. And, I still hang around a lot of the the same sort of people, not as much. So like, some I've got better relationships with the guys that I used to drink with now. I don't see them as much, but everything that you do is sort of everything changes.
Works itself out.
It does.
I was like the biggest thing when I stopped. So when I did stop, it was like middle of the sort of wallaby season, winter time. Like so we'd
hang on 2 secs. I'm just going to go and get that bottle of water I didn't bring in. Give me 2 secs.
Have you started that yet?
Yep. So that's okay. I can pause it.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
Yes, it was middle of the wallaby season.
Yeah, and the classic having a beer. I was actually working up where we shoot at the time.
Yep.
And I was up there by myself. So what would I do in the afternoon? There's not really any reception. I had like a little Wi-Fi thing I would take, so I could, and I bought a little TV just to have like to watch KO or whatever, YouTube or whatever, Lord of the Letters videos, But like, what else am I going to do? I might go for a spotlight one night, but then like that gets old pretty quick when you're working as well, and you're just like, I just want to sit down and I just drink. And then got to the weekend, and I the old man was coming up, and I was like, I've got a bottle of Jameson at home there. Can you bring it up? I'm fucking nearly run out of whatever I was drinking at the time. Bring that bottle up. Actually, I'd run out of beer that day, and I was like, you better bring that bottle of Jameson up. And 2 of our mates were coming up, like Dad's age mates. It's like most of my mates seem to be like Dad's age now. Like they're, you grow up around them and stuff. But we were just having a beer and having a good time, and ended up, I got pretty pissed, man. So the next morning we were obviously going out hunting, and you're walking through the bush. And I was just so hungover, man, because we'd like drank that bottle of Jameson and probably half a dozen cans, and I got up the next day and I was like, fuck, man, I just feel like shit. Like, this is miserable.
Yeah.
Like, this is a miserable way to live. Even though I had a lot of fun last night.
Yeah.
What's, like, the payoff? Because now, I don't know, I stopped a while ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I had 13 weeks off.
The booze?
Yeah, I was training at the time. Go into that later if you want, but I had that time, and that was the longest I'd had off the piss since I was probably 15. And it was like a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
And then I kind of stayed on that, like, training and health and whatever else for a while.
Actually, I remember that because you had a fight and the dude, something happened. Oh, no, something happened to you.
Yeah, well, it goes both ways, we can talk about that later. But so I had a good break there, but ever since then, that long period, I couldn't deal with hangovers anymore. They would fucking kill me. Okay. And then, like, I'm 31 now, and it was like every time I do it properly, I feel like shit, man, for 2 days. And I would get, like, I was finding I'd get, like, a lot of chest pain, and I'd get heart palpitations and stuff all the time, but it wouldn't stop me. I was like, I won't have it next time. Yeah. But I'd not been doing the get blind thing as often. I was just having half a dozen beers and whatever else, and this night had a great time and drank heaps of piss, but the next day I was just like, this is not fun anymore. Like, it really isn't fun. There's nothing fun about this. I'm walking through the bush like, man, I feel like absolute dog shit. Like, really feel like shit. My fucking heart's going all doing shit, and I'm like, I think I need a break. And then I had 3 cans that afternoon. We'd finished shooting, so we all caught up. So I had a couple of cans, and then I had one when I got home. And I was like, tomorrow I'm going to stop. Yeah. To see what happens. And here we are 216 days later or something.
That's awesome. What's the plan? Have you got a plan? Like, is that if you never drink again, or you're just having a spell, or?
I don't know. Like, I want to be able to, but I know what my personality's like. So I have a really addictive personality in that sense.
I can relate.
Like, I'm not. Drugs have never been a problem. I've never done any. Like, I'm super clean in that sense. It's never been a problem. But I think part of that is because I knew what I was like with alcohol. I knew that deep down, I think I had this thing that it was an escape from any problem or reality, and anything that took me away from reality and made me feel good. I want to do it again, and I want to do it. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere near drugs because I know what my personality's like. And people are like, oh, it won't fucking hurt you. And I'm like, no, dude, like I know me. And I'm really glad that was the way. And I was brought up that way too.
Yeah, good.
Not, to stay away from that stuff. But yeah, I stayed away from all of that. But the booze was... I'd said to people before, like, I think I should, I think it's a bit of a problem. And they're like, nah, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they don't mean anything harm by it, but to me, internally, I'm like, I think I've got a problem.
Yeah.
I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself from doing it. I could have a week off occasionally and then be like, oh, I'll just have a beer. And then I'll be like, I'm not going back to drinking every day. I'm not doing that. And 3 weeks later, I'm drinking every day again.
Yeah.
I went all right at it, and I'd only drink on the weekend, and then I'd slowly, I'd just have, it's just one can. It's not a problem. And then the next day I'd have two, and then it's just like slow build
and
up.
you can always just, but today's been bigger than the other day.
Yeah, it was hot today. Yeah. Oh, it's my birthday. Oh, it's Gavin's birthday. It's whatever. Like, and there's always, you can always find a reason to get on the piss again. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm going to stop. And God, another thing I've never spoken about. It's in the interest of honesty. I just was going through a bit of a period. Work was getting tough. I wasn't getting much work. Money was a bit tight. And
isn't that? I know exactly where you are and where you're going with this. But isn't that weird when things get then then you spend drink more, but even though you're spending more money, because I've been exactly the same, man. Work slowing down, fuck it, I'll drink, which is just amplifying the problems.
I was looking at. I wasn't toying up stopping drinking right there and then. It was in the back of my mind, but things were a bit tougher and just in my personal life. I think I caused a lot of my own issues in my own head. They're not really that big of a deal, but because I don't want to get anything twisted. I've had a fucking awesome life. Yeah, I've had some shitty things happen, but I've had an awesome life, fucking awesome life, awesome family, supportive, great. Everything's good. There's no I don't want it to be like a sob story thing. But I was having a bit of a tough time in my own head and the drinking wasn't helping. Yeah. I was having just an existential crisis almost. I'm like, what am I doing here? What's the fucking point? Yeah. Or what's the point? What am I... Not I wasn't going to hurt myself or anything, but it was what's the point? What are we doing?
There's got to be more.
There's got to be something else. And it wasn't even the alcohol. It was just life. I was like, there's something's missing from my life.
Purpose.
Something like that. And it was... I messaged one of my mates. My whole life... This is really fucking weird for me to talk about because I haven't spoken to anybody about this other than my missus and a couple of mates. Yeah. All of my life, I ridiculed religion big time. Big time. Yeah. So I was like, these fucking gullible, these dumb fucks, whatever. Yeah. And I was just at a point where I was like, something's missing. I'm searching for something and I don't know what it is. Yeah. And I messaged a mate of mine who's a Christian. And I was like, what? I don't know what I'm searching for, but I'm searching for something. I'm not sure what it... And he was like... He's like, talk to one of my other close mates. There's a few of us, a bit of a group of us, we catch up every Sunday, smoke cigars and watch the fights. And
be toxic, man.
And just be... But we're actually all the opposite of toxic men, I guess, you know what I mean? But stereotypically. Yeah. A couple of us don't really drink at all. I don't, obviously, at the moment. A couple of them might have a beer here and there, but a couple of them are one of them had not... in and out of the Christianity sort of thing. And my mate I spoke to, he's like, talk to my other mate. I won't name names, I don't know if they want to be spoken about, but he's like, talk to him. He's much more in, if that's what you're...
I love where
if
this is going.
If that's what you're searching for,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what I'm searching for, and he recommended a book to me. He's like, read C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity. Yeah. And I just couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't get through it, and I find it was so funny how these things work, man. I had never, I wouldn't call it pray, but I'd never done anything like that. But I kind of just thought, I didn't even speak it, but I just kind of, I don't know, stereotypical look up and God. And I'm like, if there's I was having some trouble with obviously the work, and I wasn't getting any. I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Should I stop and go back to working for the old man, or should I? And I kind of was like, if there's, give me a sign. Yeah. If there's somebody or something, give me a sign. Show me that I'm on the right path, because I think I am. I'm doing the right things. I think it's just a rough patch. Give me some sort of sign. Few days later, no shit. I know this sounds fucking, and I don't want to get it like biblical. I really don't, because for me, like it's a personal journey sort of thing. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate people pushing anything on anybody, including religion or any of beliefs or stuff like that. But I'll just tell you my story of it. Take from that what you will. A few days later, my old man rings up and he's like, I just had a call from such and such. They want a truck, and they might even want a digger. Like, they need an operator for a digger as well. Yeah. And it was almost like I said, take what you want. It was like a sign. It was like, you're doing the right things. Like, some work just popped up. I had nothing. And then all of a sudden work popped up. And then where I was doing the job at the time, he needed me for longer again. I want you to do this. When you got time, come back and do this. And I was like, it's a sign. It's got to be. Anyway, I get talking to my mate on the way home from work that week. And we got into a bit of a talk about, he was kind of, he's like, the creation thing and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't jive with it, man. I can't.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I can't do it. And I kind of denied it all and pushed it all out of my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've just been dumb. Like, you've been gullible.
Yeah.
A coincidence has happened, and you just like, so I pushed it all away. The next week, I went home, got my dogs. I had 2 of them at the time. My other old ones recently died.
Yeah.
I got my other dogs, and my other dog and the old fella, and took them up, and went into the house where we stay, where we shoot, and one of the other boys was up there. And he was out in his ATV, like your buggy thing, the Polaris or whatever. And he's like parked his ute with the trailer. So they weren't there, and I just went in to get a couple of things before I went out the bush with the dogs. Came out and reversed straight into his ute. And stowed all the guard in and I just had a meltdown.
Yeah.
Like, I just fucking lost it, man. And I haven't told anybody that. I think maybe my missus, but I sat there and just cried.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on in my life? Like, why is this happening? I can't afford this to start with at the moment. Why is this happening? And that same day, man, this is fucking wild too. I get out the bush and my new pointer, Monty, who's a character, had a seizure.
Yeah.
5 minutes into hunting. And so then I'm freaking out again. I'm like, fucking hell. Because he was like running up behind me, and I turned around and he's like hit the deck, and and I've seen it in dogs before.
Yeah.
But this is the first one for him, and now like he has epilepsy. Like, I've got him on medication for it and stuff. It's manageable.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll be able to hunt with him. Just if he seizes and I can't find him, I might be able to put like a GPS collar on him maybe, but
it's another thing.
Anyway, so that all happened, and I got talking to my other mate again, and I'm like, all this shit's just happened, like right after I've just denied all this other stuff again, after I like asked for a sign and I got a sign, and then all this shit's happened, and then I was like, and talking to my mate who's very Christian, and he was like, God doesn't punish anybody. That's not how that works, but maybe it's just to plant a seed back, Yeah. Again, I don't want to get too far into this, but from then I was like, all right, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pick up a Bible and read it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, I'm not going to go preaching. I'm not going to preach to, I'm doing that now, you fuckhead. But,
no.
But you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I'm just going to see what happens. And what ended up happening was not long after that, like the next week again, maybe, or the week after, was when I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
So I was occasionally just reading a few pages and whatever else. And then I stopped drinking. And the thing that stopped me and helped me to stop drinking was I was then working out at Hamilton on one of these other jobs. So I was out there.
Yep.
I was out there working, and I would come back. I was doing like anywhere, some days 12, but usually I was doing like 14, 15 hours in the digger.
Yeah.
And then I would come back, and obviously I'm up there by myself again. So instead of coming back and drinking, I would just come back, cook my dinner, eat it, sit down, read a chapter or two of the Bible, put it down, take it for what it was, didn't look too much into it.
Yeah.
Went to bed, slept, got up next morning, and then every morning I would go out, get to the job site real early, like I was starting at like 5:30, 5 o'clock. I'd get there about, while the digger's warming up, I'd just read another chapter. Yeah. Close it, put it away, go do my thing. And then from then, I just started having chats with my mate, who's a bit deeper into it all, and I guess I'm a born-again Christian.
Which
is so funny to say, man, because it's not something that I was going to make public, but, like, I guess we're talking about life, so...
It's so weird. I've been sitting here with this massive grin on my face. So, to go off the back of that, this is a massive blowout, I have somewhat of a similar story. So my whole life I was a black sheep, come from a religious family, went to a Catholic school my whole life, got dragged to church, hated it all. This is a bunch of crap. This is no good. Went down the path I went down again, which wasn't bad. I've been very lucky. I've had a good life. Parents have been very successful, lots of love and all that sort of stuff around me. Just wasn't about it. When things got bad, and I was like, I need to get detox. Went to the doctors. Yep, can't just stop. Need to get detoxed. And then I was like, right, that's what I'll do. Got in to get detoxed, and then just before I went in, I thought I'll give myself the best chance. I'll go to rehab for a bit. So start flat out looking for a rehab, which was none would take me.
Mm-hmm.
None would take me. None had availability.
Yeah.
And then, so my mum and that were trying to find them as well. I'd pretty much given up at this point. And then randomly, mum rings me up one day. And this is when I'm still a mess of a human. Like, I'd stopped all work. I was just drinking every day, starting at 10 in the morning every day. Mum rings me up one day and she was like, I found a rehab. I was like, all right. And she's like, it's called Transformations. And it's massively religious based. And I was like, I didn't really think too much of it. My old man, so many, many, many years ago, when Velocity Church first started Transformations, my old man's always done both my parents, but done really big like fundraising. They've always been really good at they've been around business people, so they've which is the people you try and target when you raise money. And they were in the church. They knew that, so they approached the old man. They said, "Oh, we're doing a fundraiser." And it was riding a bike. I think it was like up Eagle Hawk Neck Hill and all this like rank stuff. And they asked the old man to. And this is like, I don't know, 30 years ago or something. And he was like, I don't know why, but I felt like I needed to do this. So he does this, and then he raised the most money. It was the biggest fundraiser. So they gave him like his like a bike shirt frame sort of thing, which I had at home. Mum was throwing stuff out, and she's like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. It's cool." Didn't know what it was for or anything. Kept it. And the old man was like, "Yeah, I felt drawn to do it." So he did it, not knowing, obviously, 30 years later, I'll be looking for a rehab. Mm-hmm. So they got you into Transformations, and at this point, it's religious. I was like, I'm not about it, but I don't care. I'll just do it. I was at that much of a low point.
Yeah.
So I go there, I get detoxed. They pick me up, go to rehab, and it wasn't a lot of people's idea, I suppose, of rehab is, and like there's obviously many aspects to it, but a lot of people's idea is, like, why were you drinking and all this, and you unpack a lot of things, which they do, but the main part is like, it's you read the Bible and you study the Bible and all this. And I even remember thinking, I was like, this isn't helping me. Like, I'm not here to read the Bible. I'm here to figure out what's going on and
why I'm a pisshead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I started. I mean, some of it would have been, this shit's getting flushed out of my system, and I had a week of bloody Valium in my system from detox. But full same thing, man. Like thought I was losing my mind at some point. Like, am I living a lie? Like, what's like full on the cusp? It felt like of losing my mind. Mm-hmm. And the same thing. I was like, I didn't say anything out loud, but I remember lying in bed and I was just like, well, righto then. Come on, I'll throw myself into it. If you can show, and my whole life, like my parents have always gone to church. They've always been praying for me and stuff. And I was always like, no, I need, and they're like, oh, you get a sign. Yeah, all right, but mine needs to be like a physical slap in the face. Like, I need like neon lights lighting up the sky type shit. And so I was laying in bed and I was like, righto then, like, and it felt weird. I was like, here's your chance. Like, if it is, and I remember thinking like, but what if I'm not ready for it? Anyway, I went to bed. It's fucking weird that we're doing this now, because every time I've brought my journal from rehab, and I've always had it sitting here because part of me's been waiting to bring it up so I can like reference it. I fucking don't have it this time. But anyway, I remember being there, and then the next woke up, And then the next day we were coming back from church. So we predominantly like hang out and do work at the church. Then you go back to the house.
Yeah.
And I was at my I honestly thought I was losing my mind. And at this point, I'm in the back of the van, I'm all by myself. And I'm just like, God, give me a sign. And it was that new servo, that Tas Petroleum in Moona. It had just been built, that self-serve one. And we drove past there, and it's got the prices of the fuel on the big thing, and it was the bottom one, whichever that was, diesel or whatever. It was $66.06 or something. And I look at it, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And then got back, and then all these other things like happened, like literally these massive slaps in my face. And then I had this sort of light bulb moment. I was like, well, the way the world moves so fast and everything, I've probably been getting all these signs, but you just don't see them. I'm just blocking them out. And I remember, and then the next day, same thing, I just felt like good, and I just started to see things differently, which is weird to say. And then that day went back, and there was sort of like the house that we were at, was all like 9 of us packed in it, and everyone had chores to do because I was only there I was fresh. I didn't have to do much. They let you acclimatise and stuff. One of the older guys there who barely spoke at all. Heavy D, I nicknamed him, but so I won't name him. But he barely spoke, and it was a stinking hot day, and both of us were down, he was down underneath in like the bunker of the house, and I walked down there, and I was just like at my wit's end. And I said to him, I was like, dude, and I was like, can I talk to you? He was like, yeah, man, for sure. And I was like, look, all this stuff's happened to me. And I was like, I don't know. And he was the same, hadn't come from a religious and he'd found his way to God. And I said, but I'm seeing like, it's not this, it's these like almost demonic things, rah, rah. Mm-hmm. And he goes, look, he said, I know what you're talking about. He said, to me, it feels like every time I get closer to God, like it feels like the devil's clawing himself back into me, and that's like the stuff you're seeing. I was like, wow. Went to sleep that night. I went to bed that night, and I had a dream that Cruzy, so a mate who committed suicide, I went to bed feeling like really, really good. Like, oh my gosh, like this is all making sense. Maybe I'm a Christian now, all this stuff. And I went to bed feeling really good, and I had the worst dream I've ever had in my life. I dreamt that I was in town and I was still drinking. Oh no, sorry, I was sober, and Cruzy and 2 other guys I grew up with, they walked past and they were still going from the night before. They're like, come and have a beer with us. And I was like, no, I can't. I don't drink now. They're like, no, and come and have a beer. And I was like, no, I can't. And Cruzy just fucking tore me to shreds. It was like, fancy you piece of shit. It was like, you can't even have a beer with your mates. You can't stop at one, and just tore me to shreds. And it fucking railed me, man. I woke up and I'm like, I'm trying not to show weakness in this house with all these, and I'm like so upset. And and again, rehab was like massively religious based, and then I left rehab, and I was still I was getting there, but I wasn't quite there, sort of thing. And when I came out of rehab, I was still practicing all the stuff that we did in rehab, and a lot of it was based around the Bible and whatnot. And then it was a local bloke from around here. I saw him, and he was like, oh, what's been going on? And I was like, oh, heaps, man. He didn't follow my social media or anything. I stopped drinking, got detox, went to rehab, and I was like, oh, and I found the big fella. And he's like, oh, right. Didn't really say much to it, but that was such a big deal for me. Like
to announce it to somebody.
To say it.
Yeah.
But it was so anticlimactic. I went home and I was like, I was expecting more. Like, nothing happened. Later that night, he texts me. He comes from a very religious family, like lovely people. He's like, oh, do you want to? Oh no, he messaged me and he was like, oh, who's the big fella? And I was like, God. And he was just like, oh, I thought it was someone else. He's like, come round for a feed. Went round there, and so that was like 12, 18 months ago now. And now I go there every Tuesday, and like Bible study. And that's why when today we were like, oh, what time? I was like, got to be after lunch, church in the morning.
Yeah.
And to the point where it was only like. It was just before Christmas, I think. I was just like, I've got to get baptised again. Like, I
actually did the same thing.
So, so here, how we're talking about this is where like I grew up in all my memories. Mm-hmm. I just was drawn, had to be in like fresh water and stuff, so I got baptised in the dam out here, man.
Yeah.
And my sister did the same. And it was, it's such a blowout because every time that I do one of these, and because it's always in the back of my mind, I'm like, but I've never had like it in.
It feels weird talking about it, man.
It does, dude. And it's
especially coming from like I guess our background
for sure
of pushing it away.
Yeah.
Not wanting anything to do with it. As far as literally, I mean, I'd ridicule the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I remember talking shit about the Bible to one of my closest mates.
Yeah. Who
I didn't realise he was a Christian. He's the one that got me into all of this.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, it's fucking bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And it's just become... dude, it's changed. It changed my life. Changed my outlook. It changed the way I view the world. It just like...
I say to a lot of people, because everyone statistically, like, so me stopping drinking, I left rehab early and everything, considering where I was and stuff, I think it's huge. It's like high 70s or 80% of people that stop, they'll relapse and they'll go again. I gave up drinking, got it the first time like that. Same with cigarettes, just gave them away.
Yeah, really?
And and they went, oh, how'd you do that? And I'm like, it wasn't me. Like, it wasn't all me.
Yeah.
And the whole, that realisation, I think, of all the like the hard, like, trying to find work and all that sort of stuff, the realisation it's like, that's not your battle. Like, you don't have to fight. You give that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's...
just have faith, brother.
Yeah, man. And it's literally, dude, I'm the same. It has changed absolutely every part of me.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting, like, I mean, this is obviously the first time that I've been vocal about it from, like, the lettuce point of view, but I've dabbled, like, when I've been on my way to Bible study and stuff, I'll have, like, a worship song on, like, because that's my thing, blasting away.
Yeah.
But, it's a weird thing. And funnily enough, now, I've told, like, a couple of people here and there, but a mate of mine, he was going through a real hard time, and we were at Bible study, and I spoke about it, and I said, oh, let's pray for him. Yeah, righto. And so we prayed for him. And then I got in the car and I got home, and he'd sent me a Snapchat about something. He's going like proper hard time. Yeah. And anyway,
I'm not ignoring you. I just want to find something.
You're right, bro. And and so I sent him a Snapchat, and I was like, and it took like all the courage in me. I was like, hey, dude, like, not that I've said anything to you, but like this, I'm born again Christian. Yeah, like we prayed for you tonight, and sent it to him. And I was so nervous, like thinking, shit, where's this going to go? What's he going to say? And I could see he opened it, then he screenshot it, and then nothing. And I thought, oh, this is fucked. So I could see that he'd screenshot it. And then I was like stewing on it. 10 minutes later, he replies back to me. He's like, oh, sorry, bro. I had to screenshot it. I had to send it to one of my other mates. Same thing. He knew he was going through a hard time. He'd been praying for him. And he was like, oh, I found he was like such a blowout. Like maybe there is more. And then it came to that realization that, just like planting those seeds. Like you don't have to do any of the hard work. It's just planting those seeds, and then, God will do the work within them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a blowout. So it's
It's funny, isn't it, man?
What a blowout, dude.
The last thing I'll say on it, I guess, and we can move on.
Yeah.
This popped up. I follow this page, Cowbud, on Instagram. Have you seen it?
No.
So it's very like Christian based, but I'd like flick through and just see there's like quotes and photos and I just like saw this one. I sent it to one of my mates, and that was part of getting me sort of involved in it. And like full disclosure, I don't go to church.
Yeah.
But when we smoke cigars and watch fights, we call that church.
Yeah.
That's on a Sunday. We all catch up. A couple of the boys go to church in the morning, but we'll catch up. And like, I guess my kind of church was, one of my mates has the guy that we go to his place to watch the fights and stuff. He has a sauna. Yeah. And we would just catch up once a week, twice a week in the sauna, and just talk about like how I was feeling, what I was getting from it, and I'd like bounce it off him, and I'm like, this is what I'm thinking, like this is how I feel about it, and I'll just talk, and we'd be in the sauna for 45 minutes, and I like haven't shut up, and I'm like, sorry bro, I should let you like talk, and he's like, just say what you're saying, man, and I'll give you what I can. Like, and anyway, so this thing popped up the other week, and I sent it to one of my mates, and it just like it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks, man. Yeah. The quote literally, God bless me, even in my disobedience, and that makes me want to obey him more. And it just hit me, man, because I was like, I've spent my whole life saying how fucking stupid this all is. Yeah. But somehow he still found a way to my heart.
I suppose.
And dude, it got me like real. I read it and I'm like, holy fuck, man. Like, that's my life.
I suppose it's a weird thing because you're thinking like in the physical world, like where we are now, if you were to say all that bad shit about me, like, if you're constantly all that sort of shit, it'd take so much to come back from sort of thing.
Yeah, you're not going to just forgive and... it's funny, man. It's funny the way the world works.
What a blowout. I'm spewing, I don't have my thing here to reference. But I had a lot of big slappies. And I think, and now when I talk to other people, I've got other people close to me that, again, like not trying to push it down their throats. And even some people that ask me, because I think it's mainly out of intrigue, they're like, well, how have you done this? Like, it doesn't make sense. And say to them, like, it hasn't all been me, like, just got to give that stuff up. I've had some help. Yeah. And then they say, oh, I need a big sign. I'm like, you're probably getting them. Like, all the stuff that we write off as just coincidences and day-to-day stuff, like, the whole, it's a weird thing.
And look, the way I looked at it and what got me, like, fully on board was maybe they are coincidences. We don't know. I've got faith now that they're not. Maybe they are. And if I'm wrong, what do I lose? So my life is exponentially better since I turned that way. Yeah. Like, I can't even explain. Like, every aspect of it is better. But because I like to write.
Yeah, okay.
I don't share any of it, but I do like to write. I might share it with a couple of close mates and be like, what do you think of this?
Like journal stuff or like stories? Or
No, not like fiction or anything, but I just like to, I get like an idea sometimes and I just have to like write. It's a few different things, but I fucking lost my train of thought on it. Fuck. I hate it when that happens. What were we talking about just before that? Because it'll come back.
You like to write about stuff.
Just before that. You're as bad as me.
Yeah, shocking, man.
There was something right in that last bit. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come to you.
It'll probably come back. But
what a blowout.
I got it. So I like to write, and when I first started reading the Bible, I sat down and I was like, this is while I was working in Hamilton. I'm just sitting there. I just had a little read and I was like, I'm just going to write out my thoughts and kind of let it flow what I'm thinking and just see what... And it was basically like me almost writing like an essay on why I titled it Why Christianity. Yeah. Or Why God, I think. And it was just literally just me writing out like what do I have to lose if I go down this path? I'm like, so what's going to happen? I could get ridiculed. Yeah. But what do I care about being ridiculed? Because going back to what we were talking about with the fight stuff, I was like, I've stepped in a cage with just shorts on and a pair of gloves and I got stopped. Like I got dropped and effectively knocked out in front of all these people. And that video has been seen fucking heaps because to go to the end of the story before the start of it, in that fight, I dropped the guy that I fought twice before that in the first round, put him down twice, and I knew I just had to put him down one more time and the fight's over. Yeah. And we clipped each other at the same time and both dropped.
Oh, really?
It was wild. Yeah. So that's actually been seen quite a bit because it's a pretty wild moment. Yeah. Like, so anybody that's in like that follows any of like the Tassie fighting scenes probably seen that clip on Legion Fight Sports page. Yeah. And I was like, so ridicule's not a concern to me because, I did that and that doesn't worry me. So what do I care if people talk shit about me? That's never been really an issue to me. There was a few other points, but like the main thing was like, if there's another something after this, right, I'm in. Yeah. Right? I'm good. But if there isn't,
you haven't lost anything.
No one knows.
No, that's right.
I'll just be gone.
Realistically,
what I mean?
Everyone likes to think, that you're going to leave behind a legacy, and a lot of people do and stuff. But the way, again, the world moves so fast, and that sort of stuff, doesn't matter.
Not many people remember anyway.
No, not at all. It's It
really, like at the end of that writing, I was literally like, so if I'm lying on my deathbed and a non-believer's lying on their deathbed. I'm going to take my last... Say we take our last breaths at the same time. Yeah. When I take mine, I'm content. Yeah. I'm going to be... I think I know where I'm going. Yeah. The other guy's probably petrified. Yeah. If I'm wrong, it won't change anything for either of us.
Your last breaths will just be peaceful.
If I'm right, I'm on the right side.
That's a big thing for me, how I was saying, like when the letter stuff started, it was all alcohol-fueled. Like it was very... twitchy and hot. Twitchy makes it sound like I was a junkie, which I was, but like it was very, highly strung type of stuff. And that's the biggest thing that I suppose is peace that I've never really had. And now I'm just peaceful. As I said, like none of it really matters.
No, you can kind of just
which is I've always been, and I think like my life is better in a lot of ways, but now, you know, I think about things a lot more. I spend more time doing the things like remembering moments and that sort of stuff, you know, rather than just brush
Time feels more special, man.
Yeah.
I was up where we shoot here just the other week, and I was walking through the bush. I've not been drinking. Like, my mind is clear as clear.
Yeah. And
I just walked out into this clearing, and it was right before sundown, and it was just like a real nice sunset, and it was just a really nice spot. Funnily enough, I used to take my old dog there all the time. It was a really good spot for just one dog to hunt.
Yeah.
And I walked into that clearing, and all those memories come back, and he'd not long died then, and all those memories just come back, and I was just like super grateful to be in that position, in that place at that time, and just get to experience life.
Yeah.
Like, it's just. You know,
it's a hard thing to put into words.
It is, and it's hard to explain to people.
And it is, but you're right. Like, I tell people, like, and same thing. It's like, well, just have a try, but like actually commit. And like the big thing is, I think why I sort of, looking back now, why I shied away from it for so long is I never really like committed and was like gave it a go, because it was like, what if it's right? Like, I wouldn't be ready to, if I got my big slap in the face, I would have still brushed it off, sort of thing.
And I think you have to be ready to accept something like that for it to really...
Yeah.
Because like it just naturally, nobody forced it on me.
No.
Nobody pushed it on me. It just came to me, and I just accepted it and went from there. And whether it's wrong, right, whether people think it's ridiculous or not, my life's better for it. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Yeah.
And I relate that same with, like, you know, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, all that sort of stuff. But like, oh, how can you do that? I'm like, I'm happier. Like, my life is better. That's all that matters, you know? And which then enables me to be a better person and have a more of a positive impact on other people's lives, you know? Like, yeah. Do you think if you were, like, didn't find God, but do you think you would be at the point you would be at now without with the non-drinking?
I'm not sure. And I'll never know.
Nah, true. Yeah.
So I don't know that it's kind of worth dwelling on in that sense, but I'm not sure. I mean, I tried a couple of times to stop drinking, not as seriously, but I had tried a couple of times to at least slow it up, but I'd always go back to it. But I just feel like now, what it became prior, when I'd stopped drinking, I had like a thing to make me stop doing it when I had like short breaks. Yeah. One of them was the fight camp. So I would replace the drinking with training. Yeah. This time I couldn't train at the time because I was working away all the time. I couldn't do that sort of stuff, and it just gave me like a replacement to the routine. Instead of coming home and drinking beer, the routine was come home and read some pages. And it just gave me, if nothing else, a solid base to have something to go to after work, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't, like, I think you asked before, I never really answered it, whether I'm like going to stop for good. I'm not sure. Yeah. I would like to think, because I certainly wasn't at the stage you were at, where like rehab was a necessity and detox was a necessity. And like, do you think rehab was a necessity for you? Do you think you could have done it without it? I've just like wandered away from my own answer, but I'm curious.
I get a few people ask me ask me if I get down on myself about like, oh, you know, how bad you got and that you had to get detox, you had to go to rehab and that. And I don't get down on myself about it. I think that I had to get to such a low for my life to get as good as what it is now. If I didn't go to rehab and stuff, I might have only drank on weekends. I might not have found God. You know what I mean? I had to get so low for it to get so good. So
again, it's a path that's led you to where you are now.
Exactly. So
it probably was always meant to be. Who knows?
Yeah. So don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I would like to think I can enjoy a beer occasionally with friends. I kind of like I never set an amount of time. I just set indefinitely. Yeah. You know, so we'll just see what happens. And then we're talking about going back to America in May. It's not going to happen now, but the following year, definitely we're going to go back. Yeah. And I kind of said, I don't know that I can go bear hunting and not drink a couple of Bud Lights. It's kind of part of the experience. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, but I'm hoping at that stage that I'm like, I think now I have much better self-control over everything that I do. Yeah. And I like to think that when it comes to, I might have a few beers on this trip away, that then I can just put it away again and have a beer on an actual special occasion, not a Tuesday that I feel like.
Yeah.
So maybe I actually, Mrs. and I, we did the whiskey tour at Warbs Harbour a little while ago. It's awesome place, and the whiskey's amazing.
Yeah.
And we bought a bottle, and it's expensive whiskey. We bought a bottle of they did like a Bundaberg rum cask.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whiskey. We tried it and was like, that's really good. And we bought a bottle and it's still sitting there unopened. And I was like, I'd like to be able to have that one day. And I'm like, maybe it's like, maybe when we get married, or maybe when we have a kid, but then it's like that's like something that I think would be okay. Because I think I'm on the right path now to be able to do that.
Only you know that, don't you?
Exactly. Like, what on your side, do you think that's it for good? Do you think you can go back?
No. I mean, whether I could or not is, I don't know.
That's irrelevant?
It's irrelevant because because of how bad things were. I was like, I never want to do this again. And
you don't want to give yourself a path to go back to.
Exactly. So I made the decision before it all happened. I was like, this is it. I'm never going to drink again. But even now, like I do, there are times like when you said, I'll bring a cigar down. Like, that's not alcohol, but it's a similar thing. And it's like, I probably could, and I'd probably be all right, but I don't want to risk. Again, it's like risk versus reward.
Yeah.
I'm happy and content in myself. I can still go to social things. I can still live my life and have an amazing time and not drink. So I don't. Yeah, no, that's it for me.
I'm finding enough enjoyment in my life now to not need, and I'm doing pretty much all the same shit I did.
Yeah.
I don't go out with people or go and do but I'm still playing golf with the same people I was playing golf with, and they drink piss like nothing else.
Yeah.
Which I did with them as well.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a trip coming up to Smithton. They do like a golf tournament up there. It's one of the fucking coolest weekends ever, and it's a big party for most of it.
Yeah.
And the last night's a big party, and I'm like, I'm still coming.
Yeah.
Still coming to play golf.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna drink Diet Coke and water and enjoy being around my mates.
The biggest thing for me, or not the biggest, but one of the things that I'm that I get the most out of every day. An alarm going off here. I get the most out of every day is I wake up the same. It's never like, I had too many beers and I feel a bit average, or I'm a bit tired and stuff. If you have a late night, like if you're out hunting or watching,
like shit,
but you can it's easy to push through. I mean, I used to be able to push through when I was drinking, but it's just on the same level every day.
Yeah,
and that's
I 100% get that.
That's a massive, massive thing for me. So but that was an unexpected, pleasant twist. But we'll cover fighting quickly. We've gone for a bloody while, but so chopping people, give them the old kung fu. What's the
look, I don't know. I don't know what it is or why I was drawn to it, but it started quite a long time ago. I think I was 19.
Yeah.
I started boxing then, like just an amateur, no professional stuff as yet. We'll see. But the boxing was I dislocated both shoulders playing footy.
Well, at the same time?
Not at the same time, but on separate occasions. And I had a lot of trouble with one of them, just doing it over and over again. And I just kind of got sick of that. I didn't really enjoy footy that much. I was never good at it. I just played it because that's what you did.
Yeah.
Like Dad always played footy, so I always played footy. And it wasn't, I was never good at it. And I just decided I want to try boxing. So I went down to the PCY scene in Huonville.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the coach there, Ricky Sullivan, who my old man knew. This is a bit of a family friend group thing, and his family, one of Dad's best mates is married to Rick's sister, I believe. So he knew who I was, and I went in there like always. I was always drinking then too. Yeah. Always on the piss. I was fat. Just doing the reserves footballer life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like drinking piss, smoking cigarettes,
meat pies.
So I was smoking then, and I started training, and Rick's very hard but fair.
Yeah.
And if you put in time in the gym, he'll put in time to you.
Yeah.
If you go in there and fuck around, he won't. You can come in if you want, but he's not going to put time into you. Like, he's very old school like that. He's from that old school boxing gym sort of background. So Rick's like was a really talented amateur boxer. He used to train under Justin Crawford, who's a dual Olympian for Australia. and trained a lot with Daniel Gill.
Yeah.
When he lived in Sydney, boxing up there. So like pretty good boxing pedigree, like some really good guys that he's been around and trained with, and so I started in there, and I had 4 or 5 amateur boxing fights. Terrible record, only won one of them. But I was always fighting, like, it's not an excuse, but I was always fighting heavier than I should have been because I was always a bit pudgy.
Yeah.
And didn't really put the effort in to get better. Like, I was doing okay, and I had some good, entertaining fights. But at that age, that 19, you know, I think I just turned 19 maybe. I was in that stage of that heavy drinking party with your mates, and it stopped me drinking a lot at that stage. I remember walking into the gym once, and I was finishing a cigarette as I was heading into the gym, and I dropped it and put it out, and Rick drove in as I was doing it. And I get into the gym, and he's like, if you want to box, you quit smoking. Yeah. Especially if you want to train with me. Yeah. And I quit that day.
Yeah, right.
That time. I got back to it later on, but yeah, so that helped in that sense. And then I had a break from all of that. Just got sick of I just want to hang out with my mates, and I was
a lot of commitment boxing, like
big time. And if you don't put the time and the commitment in, it's not a sport. Any fighting sport is not a sport that you can just like, I'll just do it on Tuesdays and then have a fight. Like, it just doesn't work like that. Yeah. Well, it's dangerous if you're not putting all your time into it. Like, so I had those, and then went away from it. And I would go back into the gym every now and then. Rick would ring me and ask if I'd come spar with some of the other younger guys or whatever, and I'd go and do some rounds, and I fucking remember I like doing this, like. And then I just kind of just wave it away from it again, and then I started. It's the first time I sort of heard of you. I started doing jiu-jitsu a little bit in Kingston, and then through that, I met Adam Tricky, who's one of my like closest, dearest friends now. Yeah. And he, if you know anything about the Tasmanian Muay Thai and mixed martial arts scene, like anybody might be listening that does, Adam Tricky's like, that's a name that you'll know if you're into like Tassie fighting culture, I guess. Had a good number of pro MMA fights and Muay Thai fights. And they were starting in the gym I was at the time. They were going to start doing Muay Thai classes. I was kind of over the jiu-jitsu thing. Again, it wasn't really good at it. Enjoyed it. Probably could have got better at it, I guess, if I'd have put the time. But I was drinking a lot then, a lot. I would, back to the downside of life. That was like a shitty period in my life. And I was like leaving work, stopping at the bottle shop, drinking a few beers on the way home, get home, have a shower, drink a couple of beers on the way to the gym, and then train. Yeah. It's just a shit way to live. But I did like do that stuff. And then, I got to meet Adam and started on the Muay Thai stuff, which was about 6 years ago now, 6.5 years ago probably, maybe a tad longer. So I got to know him through that. And then I just started training Muay Thai flat out with him. And we obviously have got a pretty good relationship through that, become really good mates. And I was like, all right, I want to fight again. Like, I miss that. That's because there's nothing like it. There is nothing that compares to a sanctioned fist fight.
I've never done it, but pretty much anyone that I've ever spoken to, any interview you can hear of anyone else, every single person says the same thing.
There is nothing like it, man. Yeah. It is because and the thing that I love about it is it's you and the other dude. There's no team aspect. Nobody can let you down. Yeah. The buck stops with you. If you put the work in, you reap the reward.
The thing that intrigues me the most is the ability to, like, I suppose, the self-control. So for someone that you probably don't know from a bar or so, I mean, you might study the way they fight or whatnot, but to get in a ring and, you get in there and you can just go, okay, for the, like, I think I've read things where they say the best people can disassociate then, like it's a task. That's all you're doing is getting in there. I'm going to make you submit or knock you out or whatever.
It's not personal.
No.
It's just...
And I listened to, it might have been a Joe Rogan episode, I think it was.
I thought I was on the Joe Rogan.
I'm not tough enough.
Damn.
He had a fella who was a hypnotist. He did other stuff, but he was a really good hypnotist. And he got Floyd Mayweather contacted him to come in and hypnotise someone from who was training to fight, and there was like 3 things that he wanted to, like he was like, what are the big things? And there was 3, and one of them was like, it's not you. So that he got into his head, and there was other ones like you don't gas out, and I forget what the other one was, but yeah, it was the whole this isn't you. Like you get into this ring, and then this is what happens, but that's not you, sort of thing. To be able to, yeah, it's a fascinating
kind of flip
bloody
a
thing.
switch.
Yeah.
The thing that I've what I guess I've concluded from doing it, I think it's a vital part of like the development of young men. Yeah. I think, honestly, I really do think that young men should endure a sanctioned fist fight once in their life. Yeah. And I don't mean go out in town and punch on. I mean like a sanctioned sporting event. Yeah. Go and train, actually show up to the gym consistently, be disciplined. Because what it really teaches you in the end is discipline, respect. Yeah. I think they're invaluable skills for young men. And I really do believe that if there was more of it, especially for people, because you see like things pop up like something will come up, it's a workshop for like, what would you call it?
Like disadvantaged youth.
Disadvantaged youth, like they might grow up in a shitty place or have a bad upbringing or, bad whatever. A lot of these kids that are causing problems now, I think a lot of that would disappear if you could get them and sit them down and teach them, get them in like a fighting gym but man, it humbles you like nothing else. Because one of the things that it did for me, and I'm not great at it by any stretch of the imagination, right? I really enjoy it. I'm never going to make money off it. I just love doing it. And the training and the mates, and like some of my closest mates now they're all savages. Yeah. Like they and a lot of them you wouldn't pick it.
But that's the key.
It changed the way I see people in the world now. Like when you're like a bit younger, you think your shit doesn't stink.
Yeah, I'd have him.
No one's gonna fuck with me. Yeah. You have no idea, man. Yeah. You just don't. You think you're a tough guy until you meet tough guys, and they're not who you think they are.
It's like those videos you see. There's one at like a soccer game or something somewhere, and there's some dude who he's standing in the row way at the top.
Oh, it's at a baseball game.
Oh, but and that guy's like in his face, and this dude's just calm as, and this guy's like raw and abuse, and then it cuts.
It's like you have no idea what you just evaded.
This dude is like one of the best of the best.
Yeah, he's a boxer. Yeah,
and he's just calm as and walks away.
Honestly, it just changed the way that I view everything in that sense. Like I've been beaten up in the gym by dudes that you'd look at out in the wild, and you'd be like. Right, there'd be no sense, no concern. Like you think, look at that guy. Yeah. And one of the dudes that I had the most trouble, I trained for a little while at HTC.
Oh yeah.
In Hobart there, with Chris Drummond and Khan Sandy and those guys. Yeah. Really, really good dudes, man. Really good dudes. I love those guys. Like, some of the nicest people you meet. Like Chris Drummond is honestly one of the most kind-hearted. The most friendly dude, but a fucking savage, man. And like he's not a good example of like the doesn't look like a tough guy. Like you only gotta look at his ears for one, and you're like, oh. But like those kind of dudes. There's one guy I used to train with in there all the time. Actually, I will name him, Ethan Boswood, right? Yeah. Younger than me by a couple of years, I think. Much smaller than me. Yeah. Really talented, really hard worker. Loves a little yap. Yeah, he loves to talk, but he can back it up because he's a really good friend of mine. He's one of those guys that he doesn't look like you need to be too concerned when you look at him. Yeah. But when you're in the gym, like I said, he's smaller than me, and I would have so much trouble sparring with him because he's so crafty. Yeah. It's just like those kind of people you come across in the gym, and you're just like. It's a blowout, man, because you don't realise how many people are walking around. You beat the shit out of you. But I think it's a really, really important skill. Just not the fighting itself, the skill, but the skill like to be disciplined and.
I mean, not only that, it's not a bad thing to have to know that you can take care of yourself if you need to. You know, like it's as someone once said. I can't remember who it was. If it was a pill, if someone goes, I can give you this pill and you'll become a savage, everyone would do it. Mm-hmm. It just makes sense.
Well, it makes life a little easier.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's just you've got to work hard and dedicate your life and stuff to it. So
I think it's a great thing, man. I love the sport. It's Muay Thai's like that. Like I was always like the boxing. I love the boxing, and then I found Muay Thai. Muay Thai is way more violent, but it's way more respectful.
Yeah,
like that's the only other place I'd probably want to travel to is Thailand to go and train with the Thais.
Yeah,
because they are like next level.
Yeah.
But those dudes are 23 and had 200 fights, and they retire and become a coach. Like it's just their lifestyle. But they're fighting like to survive. They're fighting for money to feed their family. Like and that brings a whole nother aspect again. Like it's not for comfort. It's for survival. Like
for sure.
But yeah, Muay Thai kind of took over and my favourite.
Do you know Hayden Lacey?
Yeah, I trained with him at HTC a little bit. Yeah,
I went to school with his brother, Josh.
Yeah, okay.
So I remember Hayden when he was like,
he's a savage, man.
Yeah, Josh. I saw.
That's another really unassuming guy that can beat the shit out of you.
So he was this like cute little, like adorable little child, and then like I sort of you lose contact with people, and then I was friends with Josh on Facebook, and then he shared like this live fight, and the title was like, Hayden's fighting, and he comes and he's like jacked, and he's just like got these killer eyes. I'm like,
he's a cool dude. He's really quiet.
Yeah.
He's really quiet. I don't know him like super well, but I know like if we were in the gym, I'd say g'day.
Yeah.
And trained with him a little bit. And when I had that, because I've only had the one Muay Thai fight, I kind of faded off and went away from a bit. I was actually meant to again recently, and then I ended up with a bulged disc, which kind of stopped all of that for a bit. But I remember in the lead up to fighting, so Leo, the guy I fought, who I'm really, really good friends with now, he's such a legend, the kindest man you'll ever meet. Leading up to that, we do like right in the last couple of weeks, you do like almost like Shark Tank rounds, I guess they call it, where you'd stay in and they'd put new guys in every round. So the next guy's always fresh and you're getting tired. Yeah. And Tricky, in all his wisdom, I'm sure he knew what he was doing, put Hayden last. Against me. So I'm like, it's like my third or fourth round, and I'm gassed, man. And he's like, Hayden's not big by any means.
No, not at all.
But he is tough, man.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how much he beat the shit out of me in that last round. Like I was like begging for the round to finish. Yeah. Hayden's a really nice guy, man. Really, really good dude.
Oh, happy days. Well, that's literally just clicked the 3-hour mark.
That's crazy.
Isn't it mental?
That goes so fast, man.
It's I'm glad that means it was somewhat not as painful. So, thank you heaps for coming down, dude. It has not gone the way that I thought it would, but in a good way, man. It's been
been good, man. I honestly, I meant to say it earlier too, but I just really appreciate you having me down here because I've seen some of the guys that you've had on.
Yeah.
Some of them that I'm friends with. Yeah. And some that I'm probably not like friends with, but I know them. Guys like when you have Muhammad on, such a one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah,
like a really good friend of mine. He's so with we didn't get into like the motorsport stuff, but he sponsored my HQ.
He sponsored a lot.
He's been on my car since I started.
Yeah, wow.
And he's like, whenever you're going to race again, you just come and tell me.
He's done that for so many people.
He's one of the kindest people I've ever met. So having like him on, which has a really cool story.
Yeah.
Outside of obviously the tragic stuff that's happened recently, which is just terrible, man. But outside of that, man, he's got a cool story. The family business and all of that, and then guys like Mick Dundee.
Yeah.
Having him on, it's like he's got a cool story, man. Some of the stuff that he's done. Like so, for you to have me come down and talk to you, like it was when you first messaged me about it. I'm like, what the fuck do you want?
I messaged you. I'm like, come down, and you literally replied. You're like, I'm just a bonehead truck driver. Yeah. I'm like, piss off, mate. I know you're more than that.
Yeah. So honestly, man, I really appreciate you having me here. It was awesome to chat with you.
We'll have to do it again, man.
100%.
Happy days. Thank you, Otis.
Awesome.
How's it?
That's good, man.
That was wicked.
It's good fun.
Fuck, my ass is numb. Sitting on this seat. I need to get better seats. I was planning on, it was like the last thing. I got all this set up and I didn't have any seats. And it was literally, Mum was just like, I've got these seats. And they're just shit. Oh, dude, they're brutal. But
you kind of, you forget about it when you get chatting.